Hey, hello, good morning, many happy returns. If I've not seen you since the start of the new year. We've got FA Cup football today. FA Cup weekend. I'm looking forward to this one. Everton, Sunderland. Come on the Mackhams. Come on the Mackhams. Let's start as we mean to go on. Let's get Everton out the cup nice and early. Got two big FA Cup games today. Everton, Sunderland, followed by Tottenham against Villa. Thomas Frank under a bit of pressure in that one tonight. Everton coming into this one, in fact Sunderland coming into this one, both teams one win in their last 6 games. Both teams, you could say, ravaged by AFCON really. Everton have lost their 2 best players, Iliman and Ndiaye and Idrissa Gueye. Sunderland have lost quite a few of theirs, to be honest, who've gone. I think Bertrand Traore's gone and come back now, hasn't he? But there's been quite a few who've still out there. He really struggled during the AFCON, Sunderland. As I said, 1 win in 6. And they've fallen down just out of those European places. They're now in 10th. Is it 10th and Everton are in 12th? There are only 2 places between these two in the Premier League. It's quite a tough game, I think, this one, whichever way you want to look at it. Hey, DJ Dan Mercury. How's it going, mate? Good to see you. Callan Delaney. How's it going, mate? Good to see you too. Sorry, I'm just catching up on TikTok as well. I can see people are flying in on TikTok and Twitch, and I'm still trying to get the game on. It's a 12:15 kickoff, this one, and it is on. Is it on TNT? It might be on TNT. Where is this one? Where is this one today? Is it on TNT? Yeah, TNT Sports 5. There's also Cheltenham against Leicester, which is on TNT 7. Macclesfield Palace is on BBC 1 and TNT 1. And then there's Wolves Shrewsbury against... Wolves Shrewsbury is on TNT 6. But we're going to be watching Everton Sunderland, which is TNT Sports 5. How the hell do I find... Oh, it's there. TNT Sports 5. Oh, no, that's Macclesfield. How do I get TNT Sports 5 on? Do I have to push the red button to get TNT Sports 5? Maybe I do. Maybe it's a red button job, this. I think it is. Yeah, you push the red button. There you go. TNT Sports 5. That's what I want. That's me. Everton, Sunderland. Come on. There's nothing on it yet. But it says it's TNT Sports 5 for Everton, Sunderland. Callan says, Happy New Year, Keith. Same to you, mate. Good to see you. Reece says, looking at these teams, have to fancy Sunderland. Might be a stinker and a long drawn-out affair. Listen, we don't pick stinkers on this channel, Reece. We only have the good games. Aside from the first of the year where we had like 2 back-to-back 0-0s. Aid says, good morning, Key. How are you? Really hoping for a goal fest today. We're going to keep an eye on all of the games today. So any goal fest we'll see. But I'm hoping the goal fest is at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. I'm hoping it's a nice 4-3 win for Sunderland today. I'm not going to be live for Algeria-Nigeria because it overlaps with the Tottenham-Villa game. But I'll keep an eye out on that one. Egypt-Ivory Coast is a 7 p.m. kickoff tonight. Again, Tottenham-Villa will overlap that one. Sadly, I would have liked to do one of the AFCON games tonight. But we had a very, very good day in the AFCON yesterday. And we will be doing more and more AFCON games coming up. The semi-finals coming up soon. And I'm doing the final as well. Rant says, Everton easy win today. Mr. Edwards says, morning, sir. I can't believe FA Cup games are not on terrestrial TV. It's crazy. There is a game on today, BBC One. I think it's Palace and Macclesfield, is it? Yeah, Macclesfield against Palace is the game that is on BBC One, but the rest of the games are all on TNT, very sadly. DJ Dan Mercury, I'm good, Gueye. Had a good Christmas with my kids. Love that. Love that, mate. That's what you need to do at Christmas. Fantastic. Enjoy it. And more like 4-0 Everton, Key. Not a chance. Come on, the Mackhams. Come on, the Mackhams. What are you saying? Be yourself, Dylan. How's it going? Iliman and Ndiaye is all it takes. This is going to be such a hard watch. This is the weakest team we've put out in years. Well, let's have a look at the Everton team, by the way, just in case you've not seen them yet. We'll go through the teams. They are on the screen over this side in just a moment. But let's just have a little look at the Everton team and the Sunderland team. So the Everton team is in goal, Pickford. Nathan Patterson starts at right back. Obviously, no Michael Keane for that hair pull. Pulling the hair of Arokadari. Gets him a 3-match ban. David Moyes absolutely raging at that one. So it means that Jake O'Brien shifts in from right back to centre back. Patterson comes in. We've not really seen Patterson in an Everton shirt since since he got smacked round the back of the head by Sean Dyche. And that sparked a bit of infighting, didn't it? But Patterson, O'Brien, Tarkovsky and Mikolenko at the back. In midfield, it's Gana, and the first real start. Is this the first start, Evertonians, for Merlin Roll, the new signing who's come in from Freiburg? He's had 9 appearances for Everton, most of them off the bench. I think this is his first start. But it'd be a great opportunity for him in the FA Cup. It can usually be one of those tournaments where players can really build a name for themselves, especially for Everton. FA Cup, first ever FA Cup tie at the Hill Dickinson. Hill Dickinson. Come on, Key. Wake up. Gana, Merlin Roll, Tyler Diblin at right wing. Again, another player who's not really had an awful lot of opportunity for Everton. There was a lot of excitement when he came in. Massive talent at Southampton. He's come in, 40-odd million quid. They bid for him, knock back. Bid for him again, knock back. They've kept going in for him. Everton really, really wanted him. They've got him. They've barely played him. David Moyes is giving him a go now, and Diblin is starting on the right wing. Dwight McNeil, I don't know if he's going to start off the left or Harrison Armstrong, who's also starting today. Whether Harrison Armstrong maybe starts off the left and cuts in, or maybe if it's McNeil off the left, Diblin off the right, Harrison Armstrong in maybe a number 10 type of position. Maybe even maybe it's even Harrison Armstrong a little bit deeper with Gana, and Merlin Roll is further forward. We don't just know yet. And it's Beto up front. I thought they'd go with Tierno Barry, but it's Beto who starts up front. Very, very interesting. For Sunderland, they've gone quite a strong side, to be honest. Ruffs in goal, Chirkin left back, Luca 9 and Mukiele at the back with Hume, and then it's Siddiqui back from the AFCON with Xhaka and Lefay in midfield, Adingra right wing, Romain Mundle off the left, and Mayenda centre forward. So no Brobby, no Ballard, no Aldretti, no Gertrude, no Isidore, no Dan Neil. You know, they have dropped a few, Sunderland, but not so many. But if you look at that Everton bench, that tells its own story. Welch, Olayiwola, King, Graham, Campbell, Bates. These are not names you'll be familiar with, really, unless you're a hardcore Evertonian. There's not many on that bench. There's only really Tierno Barry and Asnu. Asnu being a young player, young fullback who they signed. Again, he's not had much action this year. So Asnu and Barry are probably the only somewhat senior outfield players that Everton can call on their bench. It's a very, very difficult side, this one, for Everton to have fielded, but they haven't really got many other options. Let me have a look at the Sunderland bench. Oh, we've already called that, haven't we? Rig, Neil, Isidore, Hjelde, Gertrude, Brobby, Ballard and Aldretti. So Sunderland, much the stronger side. Sunderland, you would imagine, would be the favourites in this one. Is that fair to say? I'm not actually sure who the favourites are. Let's have a look. I don't know who the bookies are favourites in, to be honest. But both sides are identical in form. One winning 6. Like I said, it's going to be very tough to call this one. That's why I thought it'd be a good game. Reece says, I really admire Sunderland and I'm extremely jealous of them, but they do tend to put me to sleep. Mr. Edwards, I'll be watching the Macclesfield game then. Should be a cracker. Cheers, mate. Tobes, good morning, Tobes. How's it going? Leo Madden, what football team do you support, mate? I am a Liverpool fan. But I have got a soft spot for Everton because my grandfather, called him my father, my granddad was an Everton fan. Got lots of family members who are Blues as well. It's usually the way, if you're born where I am, you're either a red or a blue, and if you're a red, which me and my dad are, I was always going to follow my dad. My dad's a red, supported Liverpool all his life. I was always going to have... I'm red, but I've got loads of blues around me, so there's always that. I don't mind Everton. I like winding them up, same as they like winding us up, but it's all good. King K says, what do you think about the Xhaka transfer? What a player. What a player Granit Xhaka is. It's absolutely the signing of the season for me. I think he's been incredible. Liam says, I wonder why Patterson isn't starting in goal. Well, Ruffs has been the better of the keepers, and I think Sunderland are trying to take this competition seriously. Right, let's have a look at the chat. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. Let's have a look at the chat, what people are saying in the chat. On TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, I've got you all. Let's go through the chat. We are 17 minutes away from kickoff. Chris says, bro, it's not letting me send a heart me, saying you're... Yeah, no gifts, mate. No gifts. Lucy's an icon. What team do you support? I am a Liverpool fan. Ethan, I have my fire stick on the go. Philippines, they are linked to Rangers. Can you tell me if Dan Neil and Romain Mundle in the squad? Yes, Romain Mundle starts. Dan Neil is on the bench. Aid says 4-3 Everton win, Key. And what we saying, sorry. Let me catch up with everyone on Twitch. Key, do you think Everton can still get outside? Do you think Everton still have an outside chance of European football next season? I mean, you say still. I have never said that Everton have got a chance of European football. No. I don't think Everton have a chance of European football. I don't think Sunderland have a chance of European football, just to be consistent. I think both of these sides have had patches where they've done well, but we've seen recently how AFCON has decimated them. Injuries, suspensions have decimated Everton recently as well, and now, yeah, 1 win in 6 for both sides. We're seeing maybe where about they'll finish in the season. Everton 12th, Sunderland 10th. I think they'll be there or thereabouts come the end of the season. I don't think either side are going to get pulled into a scrap. I don't think either side are going to really trouble the European places. But that's not necessarily the end of the world. They're both in a transition, in a bit of a journey, aren't they? Everton just moved to the new stadium. There's lots of excitement about that, understandably. Maybe new investment coming in from the Friedkin Group. Sunderland, they've done amazingly well under Régis Le Bris since coming up. Liam says, are you doing any more FA Cup watch-alongs today or AFCON? I have got one more FA Cup watch-along today. We're doing Aston Villa against Tottenham. Tottenham against Aston Villa. It is at Tottenham Stadium. So we're doing Tottenham v Villa, which is a 5:30pm kickoff tonight. I'll be doing that. I'm not going to be doing either of the AFCON games today, sadly. Egypt, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Algeria, both kind of clash with that Villa-Tottenham game, sadly. So no, we won't be doing that one. Arara Sisei says Man City King. Okay. Louis says, are you watching Spurs v Villa later, mate? I am indeed, yes. Chris, what do you reckon to Cov's 2 new signings? I haven't seen who've they signed. To be honest, I haven't kept up with anyone's new signings. I only found out on the live last night that Brentford had signed Furo, the young lad from Club Bruges. So there's a few signings flying in already in the Premier League. I haven't kept up with much on the Championship side or anything. I need to really gen up a little bit on that. Joe says, how you doing, Key? Beautiful sunny Saturday morning. Perfect for FA Cup football. Crisp, wintry, sunny FA Cup Saturday. I love it. DJ Dan Mercury says, hey, Key, don't rule us out for European football. Mate, with the greatest will in the world, in the nicest possible way, Everton aren't getting European football. Everton aren't. There's at least 7 teams who will finish above Everton this season. And for that reason, unless Everton win the FA Cup, unless you do really well in this tournament, you're already out of the Carabao Cup, you went out to Wolves of all teams as well. If Everton do crash out today, I think that's Europe done for Everton. I really don't see Everton qualifying via the league. And I would say it's probably the same with Sunderland, to be honest, as well. That's not a dig at Everton. I just don't think either of these sides get European football next season. And if they did, let's be honest, either manager would be in for a shout of Manager of the Year. So no, I don't think they do. But that, again, that's totally your right to believe otherwise, mate. DC says, what channel is the Everton game on? It is on TNT 5. So you need to go to TNT, push the red button, and you can get Everton on TNT 5. Red Rebellion, we are in for more upsets in these FA Cup fixtures today. No kidding yet. Macclesfield Palace, Cheltenham Leicester. Cheltenham Leicester is one to watch. I think Leicester might rotate in that one. Cheltenham might just do something. Wolves against Shrewsbury. I think Wolves have to win that one. They want to get momentum going. I think Palace will win away at Macclesfield, but it's a tough one. The 3pms, there's a lot of good ones there as well. Burnley Millwall, that one stands out. Fulham Borough as well. Ipswich Blackpool, City Exeter, Newcastle Bournemouth, all Premier League tie. Plus tonight, Tottenham against Aston Villa. Bristol Watford, Cambridge Birmingham, Grimsby Western Supermare, and Charlton against Chelsea. Yeah, some good ones on Sunday. I fancy United Brighton tomorrow, 3:30pm kickoff. Do you know what? we've got Leeds early doors tomorrow. I might do the United-Brighton game. I might do United-Brighton. Should we do United-Brighton 3:30 p.m. tomorrow? I think it might be worth a goal, that one. I've only got scheduled at this moment Derby County v Leeds, and then the late game, which is the Super Cup, the Spanish Super Cup final, Real Madrid-Barcelona. But yeah, we might do Man United v Brighton, 3:30 p.m. if we can find it. Wise Guy Maguire says, not sure I can watch this from Canada. Can you not get TNT in Canada? Surely there's... Are they not showing the FA Cup in Canada? Surely they do. I'd be amazed if you don't get this on. I mean, look, you can always... I don't know. I'm sure maybe you can get a VPN or something and get onto TNT. You can access it. There's certainly a way you can, I'm sure. But I've no idea. I can't speak intelligently, sadly, of Canadian sports TV channels, mate. But hopefully you can. I'd love it if you could join us. But either way, join us in the chat, mate. I'll keep you updated on this one and all the other ones that's going on. Sarah says, good afternoon, everyone. How's it going, Sarah? DJ Dan Mercury, Key, we stand more chance than West Ham. You've got more chance of winning the FA Cup and European football next season than West Ham. I'd agree with you there. Boys says, Key, are you still celebrating Liverpool's 0-0 win over Arsenal? I'm not celebrating Liverpool's 0-0 win over Arsenal, no. But I don't think Arsenal are celebrating anything yet either, are they? And nor should they after recent seasons, eh? What do you think about that? Kezi says, hi bro, I'm back. I know it's not West Ham today, but I'm back. Good to see you, Kezi. Yeah, great to have you back on the chat, mate. Key, it's 4:30 United v... Oh, is it? Is it 4:30? Ooh, that might be a bit snug for a turnaround time for Real Madrid Barca. It said 3:30 then. It did say 3:30. Let me have a look and see. I don't disbelieve you, by the way, but it did say 3:30 on the telly. Maybe they've got it wrong. Oh, it is 4:30. So 4:30, 5:15, 5:30, 6:15. And then Barca Real Madrid at 7 p.m. kickoff. That's going to be the bar. Do you know what? The only downside would be is if United Brighton goes to extra time, and it might do. Oh, we'd have to cancel Barca Real Madrid. Yeah, right. Do you know what? We'll do United. We'll do United. We'll squeeze United in, and we'll see. That one's going to be a long day tomorrow. 3 games tomorrow. Derby v Leeds. Brighton against Man United, and then Barca Real Madrid. I might even... I don't know. Should we swerve Derby? I don't know what to do now. This is where I need you guys. Wise Guy Maguire says, is the lineup posted yet? The lineups, mate, are over here. You can see them. They're on a carousel. They are. Both teams' lineups will be on here shortly, as well as all of today's fixtures, all the live scores as they're going on. You'll see them updated on the overlay throughout the night, throughout the day. They all populate automatically. Ree says, we'll go out today as we did in the League Cup to Cardiff, but to me, we're down, so should play our strongest to get the winning momentum and to build confidence against the team we'll play next season. Yes, absolutely you should. Absolutely. Joe says, why is Tom Garrett's missus working for TNT? Is he really? Hey, fair play to him. DC could probably get a 30-minute break between games. This is the thing, you don't. You really don't. You don't get a 30-minute break between games. That Derby County v Leeds one tomorrow might be a tough watch anyway. I might swerve the Derby County game and jump straight onto Man United Brighton and then Barca Real Madrid. We was definitely doing Barca Real Madrid. Defo doing United Brighton. I might skip the Derby Leeds game early on because 3 games kills you. Wise Guy Maguire says, I'm just listening while I scramble through Google. No worries, mate. No worries. Good to have you on anyway, mate. I really appreciate you popping through. Give us a like, give us a follow. I'm live every single day watching games of football from all around the world. Even during the off-season, 512 games we watched last year on this channel. Kenny says, FA Cup not being on terrestrial TV is absolutely criminal. Agree with that, mate. It's our football heritage, the oldest cup competition in the world. It should be free, available to everyone, says Kenny Scouse. Kenny, agreed with you, mate. Absolutely. There's only one game on today on terrestrial TV, which is the BBC Macclesfield Crystal Palace game, and all the rest of them are on TNT and Discovery, so paid for channels, unfortunately, and we're going to see more and more of that as the years go by. They're it's all getting premium. If they can squeeze any more out of us, they will. Sad to see. Key, are you not doing the Chelsea game tonight, mate? I'm not. No, I'm gonna do the Tottenham Villa game. Chris says do United, and if it finishes, fine, do Barca. If it doesn't, cancel Barca. You can't do that. You've got to schedule them. So if I schedule it and then I cancel it, YouTube kicks off at me, basically. DC says I dropped the Leeds game just because Derby are poor. Yeah, Derby are struggling recently, just 1 win in 5. They've fallen down. They're still only a few points, 6 points off the playoffs, Derby. So they're not in necessarily the worst form, but I think Derby might struggle tomorrow. Key, are you doing the League Cup semi-finals next week, mate? I am, yeah. I'll be doing Chelsea. Who is it? It's Chelsea Arsenal. Newcastle City, isn't it? Newcastle City, Chelsea Arsenal. Have I got that right? Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, Carabao Cup semi-final, first legs. I'll be doing both of those. Absolutely. Louis says Spurs v Villa is on BBC as well. Is it really? Oh, good. Nice. Joe, you should do Charlton-Chelsea tonight. Who are we doing tonight? No, Charlton. What time's Charlton-Chelsea on? Is that 8 o'clock? What time's Charlton-Chelsea? Is it a late kickoff? Charlton-Chelsea, 8 o'clock. We could do, couldn't we? See how I feel after that Spurs game. We'll see. I could be persuaded to do Charlton-Chelsea. Since 1995, chants continue today. Hey, listen, Everton have got an FA Cup run in them. We've seen Everton reach an FA Cup final recently, so I wouldn't rule them out, mate. They've developed a really strong atmosphere here at the Hill Dickinson. It's a very, very nice stadium. Sunderland, I do think Sunderland have the upper hand today. I'm interested to see exactly who, I'm not going to say the name, but who the rhymes with Luckies, who they have fancied today. I'm not entirely sure who they've picked to win this one. But Everton were in the, of course they were in the blue. Are they wearing the blue kit? Or are they in all black? What's going on? Are Everton wearing a different kit? Why are Everton not wearing blue? Why are Everton wearing black? What's going on? Joe says that's got a lot riding on it with Racinia's debut. Well, yeah, there is that. But I think Charlton, I just hate not Nathan, what's his name? It is Nathan Jones, isn't it? Charlton, do me head in. Westy KP, Blue Heart, is that for a Chelsea or an Everton win today? What are you thinking? Chifundi says get a turkey. Mate, no, I enjoy standing for these watch-alongs. Although I do have a creaky floorboard underneath my foot. I didn't design it this way, but creaky floorboard under my foot, and when I move, sometimes it picks it up on the mic, and it makes it sound like I'm trumpeting, which I'm really not. Joe says it's a third kit to celebrate the stadium. A special kit for the FA Cup or an anniversary kit. Well, hey, I didn't realise that Everton were doing this. But there you go. They've got a special kit for the first ever FA Cup game at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. There you go. A special kit for a special occasion. Sunderland knocking the Ev out. The first FA Cup game at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Start as you mean to go on, Everton. You didn't get much success at the old place. Let's start as we mean to go on here. Come on, Sunderland. Connor says, I hope both teams lose. Moyes is just having a warm shake of the hand with Régis Le Bris there. It's not too warm outside. Absolutely bitter. And it's even colder down by that Everton stadium. Right near the river. It is absolutely Baltic. Kezi says the closest cup Tottenham have got to is a pint glass. And Westy says, is it the pink and black one? It is. Well, it's like a navy blue and pink one. It reminds me a little bit of the one that Everton had all them years ago where they had the thin pink stripes, do you remember? I think Yakubu was still there, and I'm not sure if Nikica Jelavic was there. Might have been under the... Was it when Bobby Martinez was manager? I can't even remember that. Can't have been Yakubu then, can it? I always confuse Everton eras, but I remember that pink and like... It was like a navy blue with thin pink stripes. But there you go. Sunderland were in their red and white standard home kit. Everton in a special navy blue and pink kit. I'm not quite sure that Everton's original OG side at Anfield wore any pink on their shirts. Empty says Siddiqui back in. Yeah, no, Siddiqui's back in there. Joe says Arsenal are also wearing their all-white kit this weekend. Are they really? And Key says, what upsets are you predicting this weekend? I tell you what. Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the lineup. Sorry, the fixtures for today. I think it's entirely possible looking at the. I would say Exeter away at Man City, but I think that's maybe wishful thinking. It wouldn't surprise me if Millwall beat Burnley. Would that qualify as an upset? I'm not sure. I think Cheltenham, I don't know why, I really think Cheltenham are going to pinch something against Leicester. I look at that Leicester, what lineup have Leicester put out? We're off and underway here. Let's get the timer going. Yeah, Leicester have started Patson Daka up front with Page behind him, so every chance of an upset in that one if Daka's starting. Watch him score a hat-trick now. Right, we're off and underway. Elio Rupp says Everton win the cup, and Daz says key is the VAR. No, there is no VAR in this competition. Absolutely none at all. Up until I think maybe round 6. Certainly none in round 3 anyway. So no VAR today. Doesn't matter that it's a Premier League stadium. There is no VAR. So if a goal is given, it's given. Even if he's miles offside. Even if it's a clear foul. If it's given, it's given. If it's not given, it's not given. So yeah, we've got this is proper football. This is proper football. Back to the days with no VAR for today at least. Long throw into the box, straight out. But Everton start the first minute on the attack. But yeah, it's a strange lineup for Leicester away at Cheltenham. Nelson in there, the young lad. Benjamin Nelson's at centre-back. Aluko at right-back. Page, Thomas. There's some players rested and dropped there. So we'll keep updated on all the other scores going on around the football. The FA Cup football going on today. I think I've got to rejig tomorrow now. I can't be doing Derby County and Leeds and not doing Man United Brighton, can I? Juju Gaming says, up the toffees. And when we played in Anfield, we used to play in pink, red kits. When Liverpool started up, they had no money. We gave them our old kits that were red and we couldn't have had the same. So now blue. I didn't think that Everton played in pink. Well, you've educated me there, mate. I remember there was an exchange of some sort, and maybe that was why. Again, it's a very old story. There's been some, I think, lost in translation, but including exactly how and why Everton left. Unpaid rent, rises in rent, all this sort of stuff. Vos Styler says no offside. Well, there is offside, but there's no VAR to check offside. So no VAR today. And also a reminder that if it does finish in a draw, then this game goes to extra time. Not a replay. It's extra time and potentially penalties, just as we saw last night with Wrexham. Great game that, by the way, last night we watched on the channel. Wrexham 3, Nottingham Forest 3. Wrexham going through on penalties. Fabulous game after extra time. Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhaney's side into the 4th round. MT says, Jan Dierman says, I want to play for Liverpool Football Club. What a rise. Yeah, I saw that this morning. Jan Dierman at the AFCON. I think he did it on in like a TikTok or a Facebook Live or something like that, or Instagram Live. But he went live and he was talking French, and he's replied to someone and said, yeah, I'd love to play at Anfield for Liverpool. Jan Dierman, probably one of the stars, breakout stars at the AFCON. So there's some good news for Liverpool fans, at least, if they're hoping for an exciting winger to come in. Kezi says, who do you think will win when Norwich plays? And Norwich playing tomorrow, aren't they? I think there's only Liverpool playing on Monday night. Norwich have got Walsall. Walsall going decent in League 1, but I think... No, League 2, isn't it? Sorry, not Walsall, League 1. Wish they were. I think they'll probably be in League 1 soon, though. Sunderland in the box, claim for the penalty. No, and it's going to go behind, isn't it? Not for a corner. No, they keep it in, Sunderland. So it was a bit of a dancing in the box there, and it's not going to be a penalty. Sunderland recycle it, but they're on the attack, the Mackhams. Very tidy play so far. Yeah, Norwich are going all right since Clement's come in, so I'd back Norwich to win that one at home. Carroll Road, they should win that one, but Walsall, again, Walsall doing very well themselves in League 2. Sunderland into the box, pulls it back, chance! Cleared away, good block from Everton. Joe says, Key, I'm not criticising the graphics here, but the goalkeepers should be wearing their normal shirts. Who have the goal? I've not even seen the graphics on the overlay, to be fair. It's pulled from another site, mate, so I'll have to have a look and see exactly what it looks like. I'll keep an eye out for it in a minute when it comes round over this side. Be Yourself Dylan says it's just started snowing here. Nice. We've had all our snow, I think, now. Ethan says, how are you doing, Key? Just eating lunch and chilling, watching you. Cheers, man. Enjoy your lunch. I've not had lunch yet. I'm starving. But, yeah. What are you having for lunch? I'm doing good, mate, by the way. Hopefully you are too. Sarah says, Key, what country does he play for? He's for the Ivory Coast. He'll be on tonight against Egypt. Very, very talented winger. Can play left and right. Done very, very well for RB Leipzig since they signed him from Leganés last year in La Liga. Very, very good player. Joe says the goalkeepers are wearing the outfield shirts. Oh, are they really? Oh, well, Yeah, that's poor. That's poor. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I'll get that updated. Sunderland now down the left-hand side. Burnley v Millwall predictions. I think Burnley will rest and rotate quite heavily in that one. I think Millwall maybe get a 1-0 win. It's not going to be the easiest game to watch, I would imagine. B. McCarran. Hi, Key. How's it going? Good to see you, mate. How's things? Aston Villa v Spurs tonight. How do you fancy away at Spurs? We're going to be watching that one tonight, mate. How do you think your team's going to get on away at Spurs? Got to fancy your chances there. Ethan, I'm eating some chips. Can't go wrong with chips. Sunderland down the left-hand side. Just controlling the early possession, Sunderland. It feels like we've settled into a bit of a groove already where Sunderland are dominating possession. Everton have maybe ceded possession. I don't necessarily think Everton are not able to control the game or anything. I think maybe this is a tactic from David Moyes. They're not pressing that intensely. They're ready to sit in. Because maybe there's an acceptance from Moyes that actually we don't have the players today. We don't really have an out ball. We don't really have the experience to go head-to-head with Sunderland today. Maybe the smartest thing to do is almost play like the away side a little bit. Play a little bit like we saw Aston Villa play away at Chelsea recently, where they didn't press. They sat off. They let Chelsea have all the ball. Chelsea did get a goal, but Villa got back into it through set pieces, through counter-attacks, and I think that's maybe what we're going to see with Everton today, hitting Sunderland on counter-attacks and set pieces and trying to let them have the ball in areas of the pitch that they're comfortable with letting them have it. So I think this is control from Everton. It's not necessarily Sunderland dominating the game just yet. Jacob Arabia, how's it going, mate? How are you? I am very good, mate. Very good. This crisp Saturday morning. Wolves are in front against Shrewsbury. Jorgen Strand Larsen, 1-0, 9 minutes in. How are you doing, Jake? Carl says Liverpool 5, Barnsley 1 on Monday night. I don't think so. I think, again, that's another one Liverpool rotate heavily in. Lots of sides are doing that in the FA Cup, mate. I think Barnsley are going to give Liverpool a game on Monday. B. McCarran says, yeah, Tottenham, I reckon it'll be 2-1 to us tonight. 2-1 to Villa, do we think? I don't mind that I think that's probably a fair assessment as a scoreline. Spurs scores recently have been quite tight, apart from the Bournemouth one, which was a bit of an anomaly, but, you know, they went away to, was it away to Palace and drew 0-0? I think I'm getting confused, but a lot of games have been very, very tight with Spurs recently. Palace, it was 1-0, wasn't it? Yeah, it feels like Spurs defensively have kind of just settled things down a little bit, and then they went to Bournemouth and things went haywire. But I expect maybe a low-scoring game tonight in the Spurs-Villa one. Juju says, we play better off the ball, to be honest, and it'll be a quick counter. It's going to have to be with Tyler Diblin. Beto's not really blessed with pace, but he can win those headers. I think Beto's there for the set pieces. So I was surprised we didn't see Tierno Barry today. I really thought you'd start Barry today. Again, a player who needs goals, needs confidence, needs minutes. He's not... There's a lot of games that Barry hasn't started in the first part of this season. I don't necessarily think Tierno Barry will be saying to Moyes, I'm tired, I need less time on the pitch. I think he needs more, if anything. Wolves 2-0 up now. Are they really? Let's just see. Sorry, I don't disbelieve you, by the way. I've just not seen it come through. Oh, they are, yeah. 2-0. Yeah, Wolves walk in the park there at Molineux. They're 2-0 up. Strand Larsen got the first, and they've just added a second in. This will be a morale-boosting win for Wolves. Exactly what they need if they are going to pull off the impossible and try and stay up. Which I still don't think is out the question. I know I'm mad, but I don't think it's out the question Wolves stay up. It's Arias who scored it. Really like the look of him after seeing him at the Club World Cup. I thought he'd do much better than he has at Wolves. Bags of pace. Just hasn't quite adapted to the Premier League, which I guess is normal when players come in from South America. Maybe we'll see the best of him next season if Wolves stay up. Mikolenko defending here. Gets it away. And Everton keep it. But yeah, Everton are going to have to rely heavily on the outball to Tyler Diblin. I don't think they've got really an awful lot of... Harrison Armstrong's not... Neither's McNeil. McNeil can dribble, but he's not really pacey. Harrison Armstrong from deep, maybe. But again, it looks like Harrison Armstrong's position so far he is a little bit deeper alongside Gana. He's not really picking the ball up in the 10. He's a little bit further back. Merlin Roll maybe a touch further forward for Everton. But maybe we'll see those change throughout the game. But it's James Garner clearly in that holding position. Sunderland, that looked like a foul throw to me. Ball into the box. It's all Sunderland here, opening 10-15 minutes. Kenneth Onwuka. Sorry, Kenneth. Everton we go. And Sarah says, I like Wolves. I hope they win. I'd like Wolves to go through. I'd like Wolves to get a bit of a confidence boosting win, just to make that relegation fight down the bottom a bit more interesting. I'd like West Ham to get back amongst it. I still think Leeds will get dragged into it, if I'm dead honest. Isaac says, a weird feeling Wolves will survive on the last game of the season. Oh, yes, I'd love something like that. And I'm not a Wolves fan. I'm not a Wolves fan, but I like what Rob Edwards he's done in. I think he's gone in. I think he has made him a little bit more resilient. We saw that in the game against Everton at the weekend. Saw that in the game at Anfield and away at Arsenal, and against Forest and against Villa. They've when they have lost, they've only really lost by narrow margins. Oh, hey! Who was that who slipped there? Jake O'Brien slip in the box. Thankfully, the ball ran through to Jordan Pickford, but he wants to check his studs, I think. David Moyes says Mark Gueye is taking his time with his family, his agents, considering all the opportunities because Arsenal have been calling over a potential deal in the summer. He isn't going to Arsenal. Why is Mark Gueye even being in the reckoning for a move to Arsenal? That's madness to me. Why would he go to Arsenal? He's not getting ahead of Saliba or Gabriel, is he? Unless one of them's going in the summer, why would Mark Gueye go there? He's going to be third choice centre-back. He isn't going there. No chance. Be amazed if he goes there. P. McCarran says, would like Alisson to get some minutes for Villa tonight. He would be who I'd love to get a winner. Oh yeah, the young Brazilian winger, isn't it, who Villa have brought in. Again, I really need to keep on top of the signings we've got in January. When I say we, I mean the Premier League as a whole. Even some of the Championship signings, I haven't got a clue who people have brought in so far. I just keep hearing them on the live. People are like, oh, have you heard this player's signed for this club? And I'm like, bloody hell. Gavin says, this is dice ball all over again. Long ball to one on his own up top. Sack Moyes ASAP. Well, do you know what? I don't want Everton fans watching this to take it the wrong way, because ultimately I'm a Liverpool fan. You're going to say, yeah, whatever, red shite. I get it, right? But my granddad was a Blue, so I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Everton. But I'll say this. I think, and I've said it since the start of the season, I think David Moyes gets sacked before the end of the year. Even though he had a great year last year, I just feel like Everton fans are craving. You've moved into this new stadium. It's all super exciting, and understandably so. Mega exciting. Really, really like positive vibes around the club. And you're playing this brand of football that, as you say, it's quite long, direct. It's not really Everton, in my opinion. And maybe that's as much down to the players and the squad and personnel that you have. But it's not really inspiring, is it? And I feel like as the season goes on, the groans will get louder. Even if Everton finish relatively comfortably mid-table, which is kind of where I expect they'll finish, I still think there'll be a clamouring at the end of the year just for change. We need a young manager that we can believe in. I don't know who that would be. There's been talk last night. Maybe Ruben Amorim. Could Ruben Amorim be a potential replacement? He's got unfinished business in the Premier League. Young manager, won things on the continent. Could it be maybe someone like that? I don't know. Who would? If you're an Everton fan watching, Keith, as an Evertonian, we blow hot and cold, can be frustrating. I mean, in fairness, mate, I think every team in the Premier League, bar Arsenal, would resonate with them, that comment. I know Everton, it's been very inconsistent. You started the season not too badly, actually. A couple of good results here at the Hill Dickinson. There was maybe talk of a European chase. Fallen off a bit recently, 1 win in 6. But, I just feel like there is going to be a clamouring towards the end of the season for a new manager. I don't know who that would be, though. Isaac Wright, he says, supposed to support Iliman Ndiaye for Senegal, but I hope they go out. We need him and Gueye back instantly. Well, they went through yesterday. Yeah, we was watching Senegal v Mali on the channel. And, Iliman Ndiaye with the winner, of course. Tapping. Basically created it himself and then ran in and tapped it in. But he's had a decent tournament, Iliman Ndiaye. We do watch a lot of the AFCON on this channel as well. So if you like watching live football, if you're new around here, like I said, give us a like, give us a follow. I am a Red, but we watch a lot of footy. I'm not, there's plenty of Evertonians who follow us regularly. Shell, one of our live, she follows us every day. Everton with a strike, miles wide from Merlin Roll. Not really had too many flashpoints in this game so far. Yeah, not really had any meaningful shots on target or any chances. It's still early. MT says, City, Liverpool, PSG, Real or Bayern. I don't feel like that would be the dream for him. Maybe Juve. But they're bad now, but as a defender, you might have supported some of the legends. Gueye. Oh, we're on about Gueye. Mark Gueye's not coming to Liverpool now. And I don't think he's going to go to Arsenal. I think if he goes anywhere, City would be a possibility because their defenders are falling to bits and they're trying to actually move out Ake and a couple of the others. Stones is kind of getting on a bit, isn't he? I don't think he comes to Liverpool. Liverpool, we like a bargain. We would have got him for maybe in the summer for free, but now it's too competitive. We've got Real Madrid offering him big money, Barca, City. We won't be competing with that. He'll go somewhere else. Sam, 2-0 Wolves, comfy as expected. It's great, isn't it? Fantastic for Wolves so far. Joe says Stuttgart manager would be a great fit for Everton. Yeah, Sebastian Hoeneß. Plays good footy. Again, manager from the continent, plays good football, done quite well with Stuttgart. Very similar to Ruben Amorim in many ways. Be yourself, Dylan. Arsenal looking to sign Livramento. Wow, Livramento? Arsenal don't need to sign Livramento. Don't need to sign Gueye. I'm amazed that there's links with those types of players, Arsenal. Definitely don't need to sign those players. Isaac Wright, he says, Roll can't shoot or pass a ball for his life. Oh, my days. I mean, I'm surprised because Everton have spent... I know he's on loan, Merlin Roll, isn't he? He's on loan. But I'm sure there's an obligation to buy him for about 20 million in the summer. Tyler Diblin, 42 million. Not seen either of them play, really. Neither of them. Asnu, 12, 15 million. Not seen him get a kick for Everton. He came in, he was potentially the replacement, or he's meant to be the replacement for Mikalenko at left-back. Asnu's not got a kick. I can only assume that once Moyes has got him in and had a look at him in training and gone... These lads are miles off what we need. And maybe there's potential there, but it's going to take some time. And he's not prepared to throw him in. Adzo says, what was the starting 11 for Ev? You can see it's on this side, mate. It's right there now. That's the starting lineup for Everton today. 3-star. Is anyone having problems watching this game on TNT through Discovery? Plus can't get any pictures whatsoever, despite having a TNT and Discovery Plus subscription. Not for me. I don't know if are you watching it Virgin, Sky, whatever you're watching it on, mate. If you go to TNT, push the red button, it's on TNT Sports 5. Moyes sacked by May, says Finnis. And Sam says it's going to be 5-0 by full time at Wolves. M15, how's it going, mate? Good to see you. Joel says Liverpool will have to keep Reyes Cleary quiet on Monday. I'm not saying I'm familiar with Reyes Cleary. B. McCarran says crazy good how much the channel has grew since the summer. We're closing in on 10k subs. Everton chance strike. Oh, so close from Harrison Armstrong. I think it actually looked like it was probably much further away. It looked closer than it actually was. It was a good chance for Everton, that. Free kick, very central. It's played in. Ball falls to Harrison Armstrong right on the edge of the box. It's a difficult height for him to volley, in fairness. But he tries to keep it down. Doesn't really get over the top of it. Hey, I tell you what, it was very close, that. Very close. Just over the bar from Harrison Armstrong. It was very nearly in the postage stamp, that one. And there you go. That's the first real chance we've had in this game. And it's come to Everton's... like a new signing, I guess. Harrison Armstrong, who's come back from being on loan at Preston, done very, very well at Deepdale. Brought him back and straight into the starting lineup. No surprise, given the players that Everton are missing, but still done very, very well. Merlin Roll's just been fouled, and Everton have got another free kick centrally. Isaac Wright, he says, Merlin Roll, 20 million, 20p highest bid. Well, like I said, that's what we're dealing with. Merlin Roll, I think 20 million quid is what Everton have agreed to pay in the summer. Let me just confirm that before I'm sure I'm right in saying it. Everton obligation. I think it's Everton obligation to sign him. 25 million euros. Yeah, there you go. It's around about 18 million quid, 18 to 20 million quid. And it's triggered by Everton avoiding relegation. So basically, if Everton don't go down, which you're not going to go down. It's 20 million quid, thereabouts. Finners Matty says 1-0 to Leicester. Oh, well, there you go. There's my prediction of Cheltenham maybe getting something, springing a shock at Leicester. Against Leicester. It is at Cheltenham, I think, isn't it? It was at Cheltenham, wasn't it? Who scored? Patson Daka as well. I was giving Patson Daka loads of grief before kick-off, saying there's no way if Leicester have rotated that much and Patson Daka's starting up front, Cheltenham might actually have a chance. But he scored. He scored, and it's 1-0 to Leicester at Wadden Road. Cheltenham falling behind there. Oh, Christ. Not good. To be honest, Cheltenham are struggling in League 2 as well. It wouldn't be a surprise if they ended up going down to the National League. Keith says, totally agree. The players you mentioned need more game time, confidence boost, and experience. Yeah, it's baffling to me that Moyes isn't playing them more regularly. Adzo says, who's playing better out of curiosity? Honestly, so far, I would say the first 15 minutes, Sunderland dominated possession. Didn't really have any chances, but dominated possession. Couple of like balls into the box and stuff like that, and shots that were blocked, but nothing really going on. And then just in the last like five minutes or so, Everton have started getting on the ball more. Harrison Armstrong's just had a shot. Merlin Roll had a shot. So Everton now growing into the game a little bit more, and there's a good chance here down the left-hand side. Here's Mikalenko. Oh, it's an offside, I think. Or has it been pulled back for a head injury? What's going on here? Head injury, yeah. James Garner's furious. Everton fans quite rightly furious, actually, to be fair. Sunderland are getting the ball pulled back for a head injury. James Tarkowski's raging here. Absolutely raging that the referee has decided to stop the game. Because Everton were on a great counter-attack there. It's a really, really good opportunity for Everton. Wolves 2, Shrewsbury 1. Maybe it's not going to be such a comfortable game for Wolves at Molineux. John Marquis, penalty. John Marquis, I didn't even realise he was still playing. Portsmouth legend, John Marquis, has absolutely smashed the penalty in there, and it's 2-1. Isaac says we're being bloody ripped off. It's like buying a gazebo for the bloody winter. And Shawnee says, without Keenan, Dewsbury Hall and Ndiaye and Gueye, Everton are so weak, also need some additional players. Screaming out for a right back. That's been the case since the summer. I was amazed that Everton didn't go and get a right back. Absolutely astonished that Everton didn't get a right back. I watch a fair bit of... I try and keep up on all the other fan channels and stuff like that, because we're very generic here at Premier League, Dad. I watch everyone. But I like to, keep abreast of... I watch a bit of Toffee TV. I watch Ped and Baz and see if they're talking about Everton, what they think's going on. And Ped did not stop talking about Everton need a right back. Everton need a right back. Most important position, need a right back. Probably even need a replacement left back for Mikalenko. Full-backs, width. And they went and spent all the money on a young left back who we've barely seen. Oh, we might have a head injury here. And I think it's a bad one, to be honest. The referees, all the Sunderland players are all saying, come on, quick. I think Mikalenko's maybe had his head stood on. Is it Mikalenko? Oh, it's Harrison Armstrong. Yeah, I think he's got a bit of claret coming out of him here. Oh, let's have a look back at this one. Tarkowski with a high ball in. Oh, yeah, keeper jumped for it. Harrison Armstrong was already on the floor, and the keeper lands. Oh, yeah. Studs on the back of the head. Nasty, that one. Claire GS, hiya from Perth. Nice, love that, Claire. Good to see you. Wise Guy Maguire says, okay, I'm back. No streams worth paying for to see the match. Just won't get £15 worth out of some of these Canadian apps. I only watch Prem. Prem is covered by Fubo, but these cup matches just don't get the attention here. Well, you can always... I'll keep you updated, mate. We have got all the scores going round here. I'll keep you updated on this one, at least. Everton, Sunderland, and any goals that go in. And the other games I'll keep you notified on. Currently Macclesfield 0, Palace 0, Wolves 2, Shrewsbury 1, Cheltenham 0, Leicester 1, 0-0 here. Harrison Armstrong, he's okay. He's just being treated for a head injury. Stood on by Robin Riffs. And we're back underway. Sean Boyle C, sorry, I predict Gana might go. They should have locked a contract in by now. Yeah, lots of rumours about James Garner going to Newcastle, aren't there? Newcastle maybe crying out for a midfielder, and James Garner's he's had a fantastic season, James Garner. Properly gone under the radar. I watched Everton's win against Forest away. He was absolutely fantastic in that game. Top quality. Again, I don't think he'd necessarily be sort of chasing an England call-up anytime soon for the World Cup. I don't think he's quite there. There's Liverpool. England are blessed. Liverpool need a fair few signings in that midfield position, and we're looking at Wharton, we're looking at Elliot Anderson. But there's just so much talent in that midfield for England. I don't think James Garner would get in, but maybe he's going to do like Harvey Barnes is doing. Look at his grandparents for Scottish heritage or Irish heritage. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall as well, looking at potentially playing for Ireland. Maybe Ireland go to the World Cup and Dewsbury Hall will be in it. Wise Guy says, are the Wolves going to crush it today? Well, the 2-1 in front. Shrewsbury comeback might be on in that one. Isaac says, can we stop having injured players? If Armstrong goes out, that'll be 9. It's a long throw into the box from Sunderland. Flicked on. Laid out to the edge of the box. Strike, and it's 1-0 Sunderland. What a goal that is from Enzo Lafay. It's 1-0, and it's a fabulous finish. Very, very similar, actually, to the goal that Callum Hudson-Odoi scored in many ways last night. Kind of a side-footed shin into the corner. And it's a great finish. It is a really, really good finish, and Sunderland are in front. There you go. Fantastic goal from Sunderland. Oh! That'll set the cat amongst the pigeons. Finners Matty says, what are you live for later on? I'm doing Tottenham v Aston Villa. Gavin says, someone tell Krapowski to stop playing long or cross balls and Moyes out ASAP. Watch this. It's a fabulous... What the hell is Tarkowski doing in front of Pickford there? Look how deep James Tarkowski drops here. What's he doing? He might have inadvertently... Look at this. I think he might have blocked Pickford's view here. What's he doing? And to be honest, I think that's what Pickford's saying. I think Pickford's saying to Tarkowski, what are you doing? You're about 6 foot further back than all of the rest of the defensive line, and you stood right in front of my view. What are you doing? I don't think he'd have necessarily saved it. I really don't think Pickford would have got to that one. It's a great effort. But James Tarkowski, what is he doing there? Keith says, Jesus, here we go. Sean says, I'm in New Zealand. Used to live in Milton Keynes. The Dons formed just after I left the country in 2004. Would have been an opportunity to see reasonable quality local football. Well, mate, I am eternally jealous that you got out of England a long while ago and enjoying life in New Zealand. That's my plan, to get my family out of England. This is why I started this channel. I'm hoping to move away. Adzo says, already knew we were going to lose. Sean says, instead, I'm stuck supporting Everton as I have for the last 50 years of my life. Well, hey, at least you've stuck with Everton. At least you've not done what a lot of other fans have done, which is, change. I knew a lad who we used to go to school and played footy together, and then we worked together for a little spell. Used to play 5-a-side, 7-a-side football with him. He was an ardent Everton fan, grew up an Everton fan. As soon as City got money, started turning up to the footy in City tops. Now he's deleted all of the Everton pictures off his Facebook, and the guy he goes to the Etihad every week like he's an ardent City fan. Absolute wronging. 3-star says, sorted key, had to go through the Discovery Plus app on my Skybox. Missed nearly most of the first half, but at least Premier League dad commentary doesn't let you down. Cheers, mate. Gavin says, get rid of that fraud, Tarkowski. And Moyes is different to Dyche. Long ball tactic, but with one up top, it's awful. Sunderland fan 67 says, let's go. That was a great finish, it's got to be said. Mama Coco, who do you support? I am a Liverpool fan. Mama Coco, I don't mind telling you. But like I said, we watch everyone on the channel, so it's not a Liverpool fan channel. We watch a lot of teams. We're watching Everton, Sunderland now. We're watching Tottenham, Villa later. Last night we watched the AFCON. We watched West Brom against Derby, West Brom against Leicester the other day as well. Bryn says, I've supported Everton for 63 years, Key. 63 years. You've seen some good Everton sides then, if nothing else. 3-star, if you want Moyes, gone Everton fans, just remember you could have Dyche. Hey, well, hang on. If you want Moyes gone, just remember what West Ham are going through. Sometimes the grass isn't always greener, but I do think, I absolutely believe that David Moyes will be gone before the end of the season. I got a lot of stick for that at the start of the season, when Moyes had a phenomenal year last year with Everton, hadn't he? Done really, really well. Come in when Dyche had left and they were really down there, potentially in another relegation battle. Dyche left, Moyes came in, steadied the ship, did really well, went on a good run of wins as well, picked up some big results. But I just feel there's a lingering feeling that Everton fans are craving something a bit more positive, bit more exciting, to go with the exciting new stadium and the exciting new era, new owners, new stadium, new manager. I'm not going to say Moyes is a dinosaur. I think he's a very, very good manager. But I don't think he's maybe a good fit for what Everton are seeking to become. I hope that's reasonable and respectful enough. Adzo says, please, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, come back. I miss you so much. And Keith says, blue blood, Sean, me to the good, the bad and the ugly. Pup Sips, are they going to win Sunderland? I mean, they're 1-0 up. Very, very good goal from Enzo Lafay as well. Kevin Guy, blue and white, Everton and dynamite. Finners Matty, do you think there's a chance of Wolves staying up if they carry on playing how they are right now? Don't see why not. Played well recently in big games. Like I said, they went to Anfield, stood up to Liverpool, went to Arsenal, stood up to them. Only narrow defeats. Villa, Nottingham Forest. Again, they're not getting battered 3 and 4. They seem to be doing all right recently. And then, they pick up the win against West Ham. Did very well against Everton. Maybe should have won against Everton. I mean, I know it was 9 men in the end, but they did okay. So they're starting to play a bit better. Finner says, give Everton Ruben Amorim, get them relegated. Ruben Amorim wouldn't take Everton. I think with the right investment, if the Friedkin group are as ambitious as they proclaim to be, and they give Everton the money to spend, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Ruben Amorim looked at that as a really good project to look at it, because it's a new stadium, class stadium, heart of the city, opportunity to grow the club into a European team. Let's give him the money to go and do it. I think there's a lot of managers that would look at that and see that as a great opportunity. Maybe a Moyes is a fantastic sort of ship steadier, and then you bring in a Sebastian Hoeneß, a Ruben Amorim, another. Maybe Ruben Amorim not so much. Ruben Amorim might be looking a tier above Everton. That's not knocking Everton, but maybe he's looking at a side who are already in Europe and in the Champions League. Chance. Oh, unlucky. Mykolenko claimed for a corner. Unlucky. Everton nearly 1-1. Mykolenko venturing into the box there. Nearly a rare Mykolenko goal. It was Dwight McNeil driving forward. Plays it into his fullback. Mykolenko just dragging it wide. I think it was going wide anyway, but Ruff's got a touch on it. But yeah, there's a lot of good young managers. Lots and lots of good young managers across Europe. And even Inigo Perez as well. Inigo Perez is one that I think Everton would be looking at. Inigo Perez was Andoni Iraola's assistant manager when he was back in Spain. And he should have been Bournemouth's assistant manager, but he couldn't get a work permit. So he stayed in Spain and he ended up managing Rayo Vallecano, got Rayo Vallecano into Europe. They're doing brilliantly, and he, plays good football. I think he would be a really good, young, exciting manager for Everton to look at. Inigo Perez. Isaac says, can we stop having a go at Moyes? We have 6 first-team players out injured, suspended, or on international duty at the moment. Calm down. No, listen, I agree. I'm not knocking Moyes as a manager at all. I absolutely agree. He's making lemonade out of lemons at the minute. I think Everton being in 12th is about where Everton are, and he's got a lot of players out. I agree. Totally agree. I'm just saying I think he will leave. Twisted Fate says, Kian pissed. Jan Dierman might be coming to Liverpool. His choice because he's a Liverpool supporter. Nothing wrong with that. Finners Matty, Wolves haven't been battered at all this season. It's only been 1 or 2 conceded a game. They just haven't got the players to put the chances away. That's not true. They got battered against United 4-1. They have been. There's a few games where they've been put apart, but yeah, I agree. Up front's been an issue for them. Red Rebellion, Moyes will keep Everton in the league. That is why he is there. If he leaves, their options as a replacement won't be great. So it's a case of damned if you do and damned if you don't keep in Moyes. I don't think that's true. Like I said, I think if Everton were to sack Moyes, I'm not saying they will sack him like right now. I think where they are is probably where they are. But I think by the end of the season, there will be an assessment. And it might be a case of we're craving something a little bit different. I don't know. I just think he's a very steady Eddie, David Moyes, and what Everton are looking for is not steady Eddie. Their fans are craving a different type of... We've already seen it in the chat. The Everton fans, not only in the YouTube chat, which you guys can see, but on Twitch, on TikTok, a lot of the Everton games we've done recently, there's been a complaint about how Everton play football. The style of football. It's not particularly exciting to watch, and it's maybe not particularly in line with the ambitious future Everton are painting and seeking to create. Corner kick to Sunderland. Ball floated out. Header. Oh, yo! Over for a corner. Wolves 3-1. Mikalenko very nearly diverting that into his own net. Pickford was scrambling there for a minute. But it's 3-1 Wolves. Jorgen Strand-Larsen with his second of the game. Twisted Fate says, Amorim gets more stick than what he deserves. He's a quality manager, guys. The issue at United was he was backed but not backed. We don't have the midfield or wing back for his system. Right, another Sunderland corner. Second in succession. Near post. Headed out. Overhead kick. It's, very nearly 2. What a save from Jordan Pickford. An overhead kick from the edge of the box. I think, was it Mundle who had that? Oh, very nearly 2-0 to the Mackhams. Absolutely flying there. Great overhead kick, and it was a fabulous save. I want to see that back. But Sunderland on the counter again. No, long ball goes straight out of play. Thomas Mangan says, we have all the injuries and 2 gone to AFCON. Moyes bought well. We're just unlucky with injuries. I think with all the players back, we'd be right at the top. You say Moyes bought well though, mate, but Diblin doesn't play. Asnu doesn't play. Barry hasn't played really all that much this season. Now, these might be signings for 3-4 years down the line, but they're not signings for now. I'm not sure you can say Moyes has bought well. I'm not sure he has bought well. I think they are club signings, if anything. I think they are signings that are expected to bear fruit in maybe 2-3 years, not necessarily immediately. And I think if you were asking David Moyes of the types of players he'd want more Kiernan Dewsbury-Halls and less Merlin Rolls, if you know what I mean. Merlin Roll, again, young player, brought in to maybe be a top player that Everton can sell on for a profit in years to come. I think he wants more Dewsbury-Halls, more Grealishes, and less of the Merlin Rolls, the Diblins, the Asnus. Sunderland strike. It's gone miles wide. Ledoux says Moyes is here to stay, man. Jabba Twandy says, nah, Moyes isn't going anywhere this season. Okay, hey, listen, it was just a take, it was just a think, a bit of a thought that I had at the start of the season. It's not really gone away, with Everton fans saying how disappointed they are with the style of play and the ambition that we're seeing and hearing from the Friedkin group. Sunderland driving, strike from distance, good save from Pickford. It's going to go for another corner. And he's screaming at his defence here, Pickford. Mundle with a strike. He's screaming for a bit of better protection. because he just drove at the heart of the Everton defence. It wasn't that easy. It wasn't that hard for him to get through. And then unleashes a strike, edge of the box, under very little pressure, and Pickford pushes it wide for a corner. Jabber says, no striker, no permanent right-back, obvious problems with personnel. But I mean, he signed one of the strikers, so he has got a striker, and he made the choice not to sign a right-back. So, I mean, surely there's a degree of accountability there for Everton. Goal for Macclesfield. Macclesfield are in front against Palace. Maybe we will get an upset today. Sunderland ball in. Cleared away by Everton. They're winning all the aerial challenges, as you'd expect. Davy Moyes says, Defo here. I'm here to I'm here to stay. Bryn says, absolutely regarding Dibbling and Roll. Wolves fan, how's it going? 3-1 up against Shrewsbury. And Ronnie Dodge, yeah, Macclesfield 1-0 up against Palace. Finners Matty, I agree that Moyes will be gone by the end of the season. Honestly, I don't think it's that outrageous a shout. I've got to say, Everton fans, I'm sure there'll be some that disagree. Seems that some do agree, but I don't think it's an outrageous shout to think that Moyes will go. Isaac, if we manage to get Carlo Ancelotti back, I will bawl my eyes out in happiness. Times under him were class. Yeah, I don't think Carlo Ancelotti's coming back into club management anytime soon. Leicester are 2-0 up against Cheltenham, so there you go. That prediction's gone well down the Swanee. I thought Leicester would struggle away at Whaddon Road, but Mavididi, what a player Mavididi is. Mavididi and Fatu are doing really well for Leicester. Everton, long throw into the box. Bit of head tennis. Tarkovsky wins it. Sunderland clear it away. Ben says, do you think Liverpool should go for the FA Cup this season? Because we haven't got anything to win. Champions League is tough. Mate, I don't think we've got really the luxury of picking. We've got to go hard in the FA Cup and the Champions League. But yeah, we've not really got a great squad at the minute. Thomas says, but he's building for the future as well with the young lads. I think that's what we need. Rome wasn't built in a day. Only my thoughts. No, I agree. Thomas, I absolutely agree with that. He's maybe balancing what the club wants, a little bit like what a lot of other managers are doing, because there's only, I don't know what Moyes is. Moyes' job at Everton manager or first team coach? Because that seems to be the distinction, doesn't it, across the league? If you're a first team coach, you don't necessarily get all the signings you want right now. You get some that the club decide they'll be good for us in 3 to 5 years, and then you get some that you want immediately. And that's kind of what the likes of Slot at Liverpool are dealing with, and you know, then you've got Unai Emery who gets what he wants, Arteta who gets what he wants, Guardiola who gets what he wants. If they want to sign 25, 26, 27 year olds, that's fine. Clubs like to sign 21, 19, 20, 21 year olds where there's a big resale value. Wise Guy Maguire says, how are we feeling about the Palace match? I didn't think Palace would fall apart there. The lineup as well, just to talk you through the Palace lineup. Sunderland have just got a card. Sadiki, Everton were driving through. There's only 90 seconds left in this first half. There's 3 minutes of injury time given. Dibbling down the left-hand side. Ball in. Comes out to James Gana with a strike. Miles over the bar. It wasn't Gana, it was Mikalenko. Palace's lineup today is Benitez, Gueye, Richards, Canvo. Not a bad back line. Sosa, Rodney, Wharton, Devaney. Again, not bad. Pino, Drakes, Thomas, and Uche. So there's a nice mix in there. Gueye's playing, Wharton's playing, Richards, Pino, Devaney. These are first team players. Even Uche is a big signing for Palace. Jabber Twandy says, Moyes admitted that he couldn't persuade some preferred players to sign due to the club's recent struggles and a lack of Europe. Yeah, that's, again, fair enough. Oh, unlucky. Good ball through. I think it was from Merlin Roll there. It was. Merlin Roll played it through. Beto just couldn't quite get the ball under control, and it run through to the keeper. 30 seconds to go to half-time, and it's looking like it's going to be Everton 0, Sunderland 1 as we go into the break. Davey says, hopefully we get a deal to keep Jack Grealish. Would that be a smart deal? I don't know if it would. I mean, I guess it depends how much City want for him and the wages that he's going to command. Maybe he'll take a pay cut to come to Everton. He's probably going to have to, but I don't know, you know. I think 30 years of age. Grealish did very well at the start of the season. That doesn't strike me as necessarily a super smart signing unless it's great value for money. Unless it's a really, really decent wage and you know, City aren't commanding the earth for him. But ultimately, they paid 100 million quid for him. I don't know how much. I think anything more than 15 million for Grealish on big wages, I think that's daylight robbery. City... Yeah, I think Everton should be looking for different players out. And plus, they should be trying to put Iliman and Ndiaye over on the left. That's where he's best. Foisting Iliman and Ndiaye out to that right-hand side doesn't seem to work for me. It is half-time here at the Hill Dickinson, and it's 1-0 Sunderland. Half-time, that goal from Enzo Lafay is the only thing that separates these two sides. It's been a relatively close game. Harrison Armstrong's had a decent chance, skewed wide with a volley from the edge of the box. Mikalenko's had a shot which Riff's pushed wide. It was going wide anyway, but other than that, there's not been a huge amount of effort from Everton on the Sunderland goal. Sunderland have had an overhead kick, massive save from Pickford. Romain Mundle with a strike from about 20-25 yards out. Big save from Pickford. So I think there's probably on reflection, don't think Everton fans will disagree with this. I think that probably is the first scoreline based off what we've seen so far. Paul says, maybe I'm wrong, but this season of clubs sacked 5 managers and more to come, like Frank, Nuno, Slot. Lots of managers being sacked. Yeah, do we think Dyche could follow? Marinakis sacked 2 before Christmas. Maybe sacks 3 before Easter. It wouldn't be a surprise, would it? Ronnie says, Darren Fletcher starts tomorrow, I think. Lacey will get a start. Maybe one of his sons, Jack, maybe. And Kevin Guy says, Moyes has done wonders since he came back. People forget that after a couple of bad games. No, honestly, I agree. I'm not denying at all that Moyes has done a fantastic job. He really has. He's done a terrific job. I'm not saying Everton should sack him, by the way. I just think that they will come the end of the season. I think there'll be a parting of ways. Because I think... And it's more a reflection of where I see Everton going. I think they're an ambitious club. They've just moved to a new stadium. They've just got new owners in. This whole last 5 years where, you know, Lampard and Dyche, they've kept Everton up, and there's been this circling of the drain and back-to-back relegation battles and things like that. Moyes took them away from that and has steadied the ship a little bit. It's that next step of moving them from being kind of a side that aren't going to be troubled by relegation and now challenging for Europe. Can Moyes do that? Is he the guy to do that? He's not necessarily playing the style of football. A lot of Everton fans tell me in the chat they're really disappointed with the style of play. So I get the whole being appreciative. I get it, and he probably does deserve a bit more time, and maybe he will get it. But it wouldn't surprise me. Let's rephrase it. It wouldn't surprise me if Everton, come the end of the season, decide, actually, ambitious new owners, new stadium, beautiful new stadium. We want a young, exciting manager to match that, and let's go and get Inigo Perez from Rayo Vallecano, or Sebastian Hoeneß from Stuttgart, or Ruben Amorim maybe, who's got unfinished business in the league. Daria, how's it going, Daria? Good to see you. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that Everton will finish in the top 10. There's quite a few predicting Everton will get in Europe. It's baffling to me. I don't think Everton are European contenders, nor are Sunderland, even though they've done very well this season. I don't think either side finishes kind of 7th or higher. I think maybe there's Everton finishing 10th, 9th, 10th, 11th, wouldn't be out of the question. I am Crute, says Key did say yesterday, to be fair, he can see Amorim at Everton. And Ryan Tyrrell says, I'd have Terzic from Dortmund. Well, Terzic hasn't been in the game for a while now, has he? I think he's been out of work for a while. I am Crute, does the idea of Noosa at Liverpool reinforce the idea potentially of us playing a 4-4-2? Well, there's rumours about Noosa, rumours about Jan Diamant this morning. So it's, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. All sorts of rumours in January with all sorts of clubs, isn't there? Jordan says it's fine. Didn't want to beat Macclesfield anyway. Oh, Jordan, the Palace fans in. He's not happy with that 1-0 scoreline at half-time. Nathan says Everton need to sort out the home form or go back to Goodison Park. Well, we're just watching the highlights here. I think this is this the goal? I think it is. Watch Tarkowski drop in here. Watch how deep Tarkowski drops in. Oh, it's not this bit. It's not this bit. The goal is absolutely unbelievable from Tarkowski. He ends up dropping about 6 yards, maybe even further back behind the defensive line. He's no need to drop so deep, and he basically stands smack bang in front of Pickford. Pickford's got no chance. I don't think he would have got it, but even still, just no chance. No need to do that. Jabber says, I think Moyes' future would only be in doubt if we don't finish the season top half. But does that make, like, 11th? There's not really a massive amount of difference between 11th. Here, look at this. Look at that. Look at the state of that. For an experienced defender like Tarkowski, and Tarkowski's got the cheek to look at his teammates and go like that. What are you doing? What are you doing? Pickford screaming at Tarkowski. Tarkowski's had a shocker there. Look at this. Look how deep he drops here. What are you doing? Oh my God, it's shocking. Absolutely shocking. Magnus says, hello, Key. How's it going, Magnus? 3-star just read that apparently Forest don't want Douglas Luiz and Juventus have now realised that and are ready to pull the plug on his loan. Then loan him to another Premier League club. Okay. Terry says, I think Moyes can take us further but needs a few windows to improve the squad. When a couple of players get injured, backups are awful. Very fair. Here, this overhead kick here from, I think it was actually... Who was it who got the overhead kick there? It wasn't a Dingra. It's not my ender. Was it? I think it was Mukiele, wasn't it? Mukiele in the box. Overhead kick, and here's the one from Romain Mundle. That was going straight in the top corner. Fabulous save from Pickford. Darius says maybe Everton can win today, but it's hard to come back with how good Sunderland are playing. Jared Monaghan, Everton are terrible, and Vos Styler-wise, nobody talking about Crystal Palace's bad form in the Prem. Listen, this is to be expected. Glasner leaving at the end of the season. It's an absolute certainty he goes. Glasner, maybe United are just waiting. It feels like they're kind of, let's get an appointment to the end of the season and then we'll take Glasner. But it won't surprise me if you see Palace's form drop off a cliff and Bournemouth's form drop off a cliff. Because Iraola's not signing a new contract. He's going on a free at the end of the season as well. Alan says Moyes has done wonders for us over the years, giving more time to get the players he wants with the money available. We tried the multi-changes and it didn't work. Very fair. GTE says Everton's squad has been decimated with injuries, suspensions and players leaving for the AFCON. They're missing their most influential players in Dewsbury Hall, Grealish and Ndiaye, and obviously Gana Gueye as well, who's been terrific. Absolutely terrific, Gana Gueye. So yeah, and again, I'm not, I just want to clarify it for the 5th time. I am not having a pop at Moyes. I just think it wouldn't be all that surprising if there would be a part in a ways come the end of the season. Magnus says, mark my words, Wolves are not getting relegated. Lee says, Lee Furhurst, can't see Everton scoring today. Sunderland looking the better team by miles. Everton will be lucky to get 0. They're terrible. And Sarah, and actually win something well, yes. Twisted Fate, Fletcher already coaching Sesko. He sat him down and started showing him striker videos about movement in the box. Can tell Sesko was paying attention from the Burnley game. And Gerard says, why no signings in January? Board dragging their heels as usual. No sign. Are we talking about for Everton? No signings in January for Everton. Is it not? Is money not a problem? Again, the only rumours I've heard of Everton signing anyone are like Dovbyk, a swap deal. Dovbyk from Roma. Beto back to Serie A. Obviously, Beto thrived in Serie A when he was with Udinese, but Beto back to Serie A, maybe that would suit him. And Artem Dovbyk coming in for Everton from Roma, who are another club owned by the Friedkin Group. So that kind of makes sense. Dovbyk hasn't really hit the ground running at Roma, but he was very, very good before he went there. Andy Vale says Glasner to City if Pep decides to call it a day. Is that not one geared up for Maresca? Enzo Maresca back to City. that to me is just an absolute match made in heaven in many ways. Gag Server says, are Everton going to win? I don't think they're going to win, but it wouldn't surprise me if this one goes to extra time and maybe penalties as well. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Darius says, Wolves are definitely getting relegated. And Gerard says, for Everton. While Everton not making any signings in January, the board are dragging their heels, as usual. Who would you want in January? I mean, realistically, of course, if you could, as an Everton fan, if you could sign anyone in January, what are you prioritising? What positions? Are there any signings that you think stand out for Everton? Who would you want if you're a Blue? Mate, again, and same question to Sunderland fans if you're watching this, by the way. We've got Sunderland fans in the chat. If you're a Sunderland fan watching this, who do you think for January? Is there a chance you maybe sign a, I don't know, maybe a centre forward, someone who can maybe carry a bit more of a goal threat than Isidore or Mayenda have? Mayenda's still quite young. Isidore, he's done all right, but he's not necessarily Premier League immediately ready for the Premier League, is he? Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I feel like Sunderland probably need a bit better, don't they? Captain Spurs, hope you're good, Key. Spurs are beating Villa today, 3-2. I'm live for that one later on, mate, yeah. Ryan Tyrrell says, I'd love to see Asnu and Braden Graham getting off the bench. Is Braden Graham on the bench? I saw they've got quite a few kids on the bench today, Everton, but I didn't know we'd had... let's have a look. Everton bench today. The Everton bench today does have... I saw Reece Welch was there. Malik Oyuola, which is a young midfielder from Everton's under-21s. Yeah, Braden Graham, you're right. Sorry, Braden Graham, a centre-forward who's done quite well in the Everton under-21s. He's got 5 goals in 9 appearances for the Everton under-21s this season. Campbell, Elijah Campbell, who's a defender, 21. He's been around the block a little bit. He was on loan at Ross County. We've actually seen Elijah Campbell. He was at Ross County last season. We've watched him, Ross County Livingston last season. I'm sure we saw Elijah Campbell for them. And Bates, of course, Callum Bates, who another one out of Everton under-21s. But yeah, it's basically a lot of Everton youth players plus Barry plus Asnu. That's all they've really got to call upon on the bench. Laddie Pine, how's it going? Jabbertwari says, that bench breaks my heart. Kevin Guy says, I found this channel. Think you have a gift, mate? A gift for what? Talking shite. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. I hope that's a compliment. Maybe it's a backhanded one. I don't know yet. Darius says, I think that Newcastle need a player like everyone rejected them in the summer transfer window. Who do you think Newcastle need? Wise Guy says, is this Gomez transfer still rumour and chatter? Which Gomez transfer? Are we talking about Joe Gomez? Are we talking about is it Dario Gomez from Brighton? Which Gomez are we talking about? Magnus Redder says, what matches are you watching with us today? So today we are watching on this channel, this one first up, Everton Sunderland. At 5:30 we're going to do Tottenham against Aston Villa. And maybe, I could be persuaded, I'll see how I feel. Usually we only do maybe 2 games a day on this channel, but possibly we might do a third. We could do Charlton against Chelsea. Liam Rosenior's first game as Chelsea manager. Could be persuaded to do that one, we'll see. Thomas Mangan says, holding out for summer signings, can't just buy to buy. Trust in Moyes and the staff, they have a plan and see where it brings us. Listen, that's fair. That's fair. I guess it depends just how ambitious the Friedkin group are. How ambitious are they in terms of... Usually boards have like a 3-year, 5-year plan. If they've got is it a 3-year plan to get Everton into Europe? If so, then they're probably on course for that. Because they're not in relegation trouble necessarily anymore. They're maybe steady eddies in the middle of the table. But if the plan is next year only really to be in the middle of the table again... And the players they've signed, your Asnus, your Barrys, your Dibblings, your Rolls, who are young players, they're a year older, they've got a bit more experience, they've progressed, they've grown together. then, you know, you just kind of layering that on top of them, and maybe all these players grow together, and in 3 years' time, Everton are a side that, like Brighton, challenging for Europe, challenging maybe even for the Champions League, who knows? Got a Champions League worthy stadium. Have they got a Champions League worthy squad in 3 years' time? Jabba says we're going to be putting fans on the bench at our current trajectory. And Terry says, for me in January, I'd love Richarlison back. Striker who can win a foul and use his feet. Richarlison back at Everton. That one would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? I hate Richarlison. I mean, I'm a Liverpool fan, so I'm going to. I absolutely hate him. He's such a shitbag. But he's one of them players who I think you hate if he's not for you, but if he's on your side, you love him to bits. A bit like Andy Robertson. Andy Robertson, for us, I love him to bits, but I can understand why everyone else hates him. Sarah says, Key, are you doing any AFCON today? Not today, no. We're not doing Egypt against Ivory Coast. I'd love to have done that one. And even Algeria, Nigeria, which I think is tonight's 7 o'clock kickoff. We're going to miss both of those because they clash with the Spurs v Villa game. What I might do is go live a touch earlier for the Spurs Villa game, and then maybe we can watch a bit of the Egypt Ivory Coast game together. We'll see. I'll see what's I'm going to try and go live maybe a touch earlier. Andy says, I've seen a few United fans and one United fan channel saying they want Unai Emery. That's not a surprise. We're back off for the second half here. Yeah, listen, everyone wants Unai Emery. He's the flavour of the month at the minute. He's been a fantastic manager for many years. Not many wanted him after he fell out of, after he got battered and, bruised from his experience at Arsenal. Everyone forgot what a fantastic manager he was at Arsenal, didn't they? Did so well, though, when he's come in at Villa and turned things around. He's made him a top side again. Daria says they need someone who can score, not like Rasmus Højlund. And Jabatuari, I keep hoping for a Richie return. Well, he's got some sort of he's somewhat prolific again at Spurs, isn't he? He started to score again. Thomas says we've needed players for a long time now, but now I think things are looking up. Few bad results, but with all the players gone, next 1 or 2 years, push for Europe, I think. Yeah, again, if there is that patience there with Everton fans, with the Everton board, and they are aligned, then I can understand that. Maybe Moyes stays. But I think maybe I'm hearing the opposite. I've got a lot of Everton fans who I've got in my family, and I've got a lot of Everton fans who we speak to on the channel here who come in regularly, and I hear frustrations from them. So maybe I'm misinformed. I'm not pretending to speak for all Evertonians, by the way. And there's quite a lot of Evertonians who've come in today and actually massively defended Moyes and said, no, patience, we keep him, no matter what. I just feel like ambition's growing at Everton, and maybe ambition has outpaced what Moyes can offer in terms of his style of football. Really poor that from Merlin Roll again, I think. Again, not had the best of games so far, Merlin Roll. Gavin says, I don't get 3 centre mids every game by Moyes. This is Dice Ball Part 2. Alan Bodle says, your wide knowledge is impressive. I only know the info about my team. To be honest, mate, we've watched 512 games on this channel in the last 12 months. I only started it 12 months ago. We watched 512 games, at least 1 or 2 games a day, sometimes 3 and 4, if there's big games on. And we watch all different competitions, Championship, Premier League. I'm doing Serie A next week. We're doing the Spanish Super Cup final, Barca, Real Madrid on Sunday. You just get to develop a knowledge of it, watching games of footy. And I love footy, I've always have. And my wife calls me sad, and I am, to be honest. I'm a Liverpool fan, so I am a red shite, I apologise. But I will just say, my wife's been calling me sad for years because she'll know that I sit there watching. If there's no footy on and it's an international break, I'll be watching DAZN and I'll watch Brackley Town against Morecambe in the National League. And I am that guy. So that's why I started this channel. But I appreciate the feedback, Alan. Thank you very much. Gavin says, just play 2 up top, you dinosaur. Everton have started the second half quite well, though. I've got to be honest. They're doing okay. They're getting on the ball a touch more than maybe they did in the first half. They're starting to spread it out a bit. Here's Diblin. Over to Patterson. Patterson in the box. Good ball in. Beto chance. Good header. Bit flat. Should he do better there? 6 yards out. That's basically a free header, that, from Beto. Do you know what? That's borderline a back pass. Oh, that's so poor from Beto. I'm sorry, I don't want to be overly negative. Is any other Everton fans not really disappointed with that? I'd be really disappointed if that was my centre forward there. He's 6 yards out. I mean, he's basically a free header, and I'd expect that type of header from me centre back, cushioning it back to the keeper. Shocking. Red Rebellion says it's going to be interesting to see the situation when Salah gets back from the AFCON. Yeah, Daria says, I saw at the AFCON Brahim Diaz scored. Yeah, good goal that from Brahim Diaz in the Morocco game last night. Thought there was a touch of handball about it, but good goal. Played well. Twisted Fate says Everton should have had ambitions a long time ago. They aren't no small club, had some absolute stars over the years. And Jabatuari says, I was against Moyes' return. My mind was changed by his results. We were 5th only a few weeks ago. The league is that tight, though, at the minute. I think it's an unusual season. Sunderland are in down the left-hand side here. Cuts inside. Good defending from Tarkovsky. Granit Xhaka picks it up. Bit end-to-end in the start of this second half. Good ball in. Sunderland doing really well here. Good ball into the middle. Into Mayenda. Claim for the penalty. Oh, no. Refs give a handball here for some reason. Don't know where the handball came from there. Handball. Andy says, what do you think of Arne Slot? For me, I am astonished that Liverpool fans have said they want him sacked. I think it's mad to me that Liverpool fans have been calling for him to be sacked. So no, I'm very much a supporter of the guy. Jordan says 3 subs is crazy. This is predictable. Johnson scores. Now he's come on, and Palace fans are calling him the next Eze. Oh, have Palace equalised? Have Palace equalised, or are you saying that's what will happen? No, Palace. He hasn't scored, but it might well happen. Brennan Johnson has come on for Drake's Thomas. Will Hughes has come on, and Tyrick Mitchell. So Palace taking this second half very seriously. They're a goal down at Macclesfield. But they've brought on 3 senior players now, including the new signing, Brennan Johnson. At the leasing.com stadium. Sean Collins says Beto is shit. Well, I mean, from what we're seeing, he won't be an Everton striker very long. It seems to be that Artem Dovbyk is going to be, at the very least, brought in as a more experienced backup. And that seems like an appropriate swap. Maybe Roma will be relatively happy. Gasparini might be happy to get Beto in, he's done well previously with Udinese in Serie A. So maybe Beto going back to Serie A will suit him, suit Roma, suit Gasparini. And then also Dovbyk coming into Everton. It's something different. Someone that maybe can take the pressure off Tierno Barry, because he's a young centre-forward. Lots and lots of ability, Tierno Barry. I've got to say, Tierno Barry is a weird one for me. As a Liverpool fan, I've never wanted an Everton player to succeed more. I never have wanted an Everton player to succeed more than him. Kevin says it's a compliment, mate. Thank you very much. Appreciated. Stick around, Kevin. I could do with more. Andy says Dobbik's a good player. And Ryan says we need a right back, an attacking left back, and a super striker to come off the bench. Andy says, what's your opinion on Ruben Amorim being sacked this week? My opinion on Ruben Amorim being sacked this week is that he's not been sacked for his footballing performance. He's been sacked because of him having a pop at the manager, hasn't it? A pop at the board. 3 points off the top 4. I don't really know what more the United board were expecting. I think he's done all right. Andy Vale says Everton will link to Ivan Toney. He's not coming back from Saudi anytime soon. He would have to pay monster tax if he came back from Saudi in the next 12 months. He needs to stay there. Bit like what John Duran has done. He's gone to Turkey. He's not coming back to England. If he does, he might go back to England in a year or two. But same with Steven Gerrard. Jordan Henderson had to go to Ajax for a bit. They're not going to go straight back to England and pay monster tax. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Dante says, poor Macclesfield, I can sense the 5-1 incoming. I am Crute says, we do know Kilo's chatting shit. The COVID chat yesterday was unreal. Right, we're very close to the hour mark. This is usually when managers are prepared to start making subs. There are no subs in this game just yet. We've had one yellow card. Noah Siddiqui was booked in the first half, but no subs as yet. Tyler Dibling gives a goal kick away back to Sunderland. So there you go, pressure relieved. Jabatuari says, I think disappointing is charitable for Beto. Listen, there's a lot of Everton fans in the chat, mate. You're probably the first time you're encountering me. I don't want the first time to be this red shite giving us stick. I'll warm up to that. We'll move up to that. Andy says, could you see him back in England in the Prem? Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of players who've gone to Saudi who realise quite quickly it's a massive culture shock. Jordan Pickford. He was hanging on to that ball a little bit too long and he was under massive pressure, but he does just about get it away. Sunderland win it back, though. Not really that comfortable there, Jordan Pickford. Yeah, it's a real culture shock when players are moving to Saudi. A bit of a fight here between Bundle and Gana. It's all a scrap. Xhaka's diving in. All the Everton players are diving in. It's just it's handbags. It's handbags. There's not really anything going on. I don't think we're going to see any reds or anything. Might be maybe a yellow card each. Stop being soft, the pair here. Wolves 4, Shrewsbury 1. Jordan says, getting outplayed by Macclesfield, I give up. And Jabatuari says, I want to see her pulling headlocks and face slaps. This is Everton. What's Tarkovsky doing? He just about gets it away. There's a claim for a free kick and he's going to get it as well. Red Rebellion says, Macclesfield still leading Palace. Could be the second upset this weekend. It wouldn't be surprising, would it? The way Palace started, they had a lot of young players on the pitch. They did start Gueye, they did start Wharton, Pino, some players on the Richards, first teamers, but they have rotated quite heavily. They've only just started the second half, brought on the big guns. Brennan Johnson, Will Hughes coming on, a bit more experience in there. Ben said, I've just put Palace on. It looks like they're struggling on the AstroTurf at the leasing.com stadium at Macclesfield. Jake, who's winning the Merseyside Mackems or the Mucky Mackems? The Merseyside Mackems. Sunderland are winning currently, mate. Jake, why is gifting suspended? Basically, long story short, TikTok's suspended gifting for a week because it said I was asking for gifts, which I have never once done. They're always very much appreciated, by the way, but I would much rather people stay in the chat and talk and share their opinions than actually give gifts, although they are very much appreciated when you do. Just stick around and talk footy. So yeah, no, I appreciate you asking, mate, but it's off for a week. Twisted Fate says Arsenal in talks with Gueye are advancing, by the way. It doesn't make... Honestly, until I am blue in the face, I will say Mark Gueye is not going to Arsenal. I have no idea why that is even being talked about. It's crazy to me. Maybe he does speak to them to understand what his market value is in the current... Why would he go there? Why is Mark Gueye talking about going to Arsenal to be third choice centre-back? Makes no sense at all. Unless Gabriel or Saliba are seriously expecting to leave the club, one or either, there's no way Mark Gueye goes there. It'd be crazy for him to go there. Absolute madness. Wise Guy Maguire says, it turns out the gift was the time we spend together, lads. Sweet. Love it. Sunderland flick on. Oh, Pickford's just absolutely wiped out his own man there. He's up pretty quickly, though, because Sunderland have got the ball back. Who are the first changes in this one? Everton have really only got two they can make. Barry and Asnu. Maybe one of the young lads off the bench to make a bit of a difference. Braden Graham or something like that. There's not really an awful lot of quality and experience that Everton can bring off the bench. If you're Sunderland... Oh, what are they doing? The keeper, Roofs, has given it away here. And now Everton have got a chance. Sunderland seem to have quite a few back. Red Rebellion says Gueye is not leaving until the end of the season. He has the World Cup coming up and won't want to lose his place. Well, there's that. Won't want to lose his place. And also, I don't see him going anywhere because it's 2-0 Macclesfield. Oh my God. It's 2-0. Oh, maybe we chose the wrong game. There's been an upset, all right, but it's not at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. It's at the leasing.com stadium. Macclesfield 2, Crystal Palace 0. Oh my goodness me. Fuck my life, says Jordan. Oh. There's Peter Reid, FA Cup winner with Everton in 84, former Sunderland manager. Peter Reid in his cowboy hat. I always liked Peter Reid. Cracking player as well. 2-0, what a touch, says Andy. Crazy that. These aren't even in National League. Twisted Fate says, not the only one that finds it crazy, Key. I don't see him going anywhere, not going to lie. If you're Mark Gueye, seriously, if you're Mark Gueye and you've got Barca, Madrid, Liverpool, City, Arsenal, PS, whoever knocking on your door, and you know you could go now in January and maybe Palace get a little fee, maybe 30 quid, 30 million, they get a decent fee for you. It's infinitely possible that he goes, but I think he'd be more likely to go, well, hang on a minute, if we wait until the summer, Palace don't get anything, but I can stay with them, see out the season, help them get a good position, and then possibly I get like a massive salary plus a massive signing on fee. If he's on a free transfer, Gueye can command maybe 15, 20 million quid. Get a huge fee. Switch of play to Dwight McNeil. Everton pushing forward, trying to get that equaliser. He gives the ball away, McNeil, and now Sunderland on the counter-attack. Are they going to be able to get a second here, Sunderland? They're driving forward. Mayenda through the middle. Mayenda strike. Oh, just wide of the far post. Wonderful chance that. Really, really good effort. Mayenda did very, very well there to even create the opportunity because, I'll be honest, I think Jake O'Brien was it Jake O'Brien or was it Tarkovsky? No, it's Jake O'Brien. Jake O'Brien was goal side of in here and he just showed a little burst of pace, little turn of pace. Kept him on his left foot and drags it, just wide of that left post. Unlucky. I think Pickford might have had it covered, but it was a great effort that from Mayenda. Fabulous young player in, by the way. Watched him in the playoff final last year for Sunderland. Top quality against Sheffield United. Scored a great goal to get Sunderland back into it. And then he's just a really, really talented young player. I think he's one of them that you'll probably see move to a top 6 side in the next 12 to 18 months. Mayenda. Really, really talented player. Boy says, if you were Mark Gueye, you certainly wouldn't go to Liverpool. He wants to go somewhere competing for the big trophies. Well, mate, listen, at least at Liverpool he would get a game, wouldn't he? He'd get a game at Liverpool. He wouldn't get a game in front of Gabriel and Saliba. And that's something you and I can agree on, I'm sure. Red Rebellion says the Palace upset won't be the last today. I reckon Rosenior is in for a rude awakening against Charlton tonight. Stop tempting me to watch that Chelsea-Charlton game tonight. It might actually have to be. I might have to add that one in. Charlton-Chelsea. Captain Spurs changed to the Palace game. They are the FA Cup holders. Surely they come back. This one, we've got a bit of head tennis in the box here. But it's a free kick to Everton. 30 minutes to go. Listen, Palace 2-0 down. 30 minutes to go at Macclesfield. They've got to try and get back into the FA Cup holders crashing out in the third round. Sarah Paget. Oh, Sarah Esports. He's an Arsenal fan, boys. Boys8219. He's an Arsenal fan. Foxy says Palace right now shouldn't be surprising anyone. They have big issues when rotating the squad. Europe has shown us that with AEK Larnaca and KU PES. Coops, isn't it Coops? Yeah. Coops in the Finnish league. They got a point against Palace. AEK Larnaca beat them. Strasbourg beat them, of course, as well in Europe. So yeah, they've not been going great guns in Europe, Palace. It wouldn't be surprising, actually, if they crashed out of Europe. Maybe Forest crash out of Europe the way they're playing. And then that really affects the coefficient rating, doesn't it? So all of a sudden, England go from having 5 Champions League places last season. Maybe we only have 4 again. Because those performances of Palace and Forest in the league, in the Europa League and the Conference League, make a big, big difference. Beto's screaming for the penalty. That's not a penalty. Can't go down that soft. It's not a penalty, that. We'll watch it back, but I don't think it is. They're all asking for a penalty here at Everton, but it's not a pen. It's not a pen. Let's see it back. Beto's really frustrated. Ball hanged up here. Who is it? Well, I mean, do you know what? There's a pull of the shirt. There's a pull of the shirt, but well, would have been. It doesn't look. Beto's not getting to the ball, but there is a pull of the shirt. I think it'd have been soft, and there's no VAR to look at it anyway. Would have been a bit soft, but there was a pull of the shirt. Make no mistake about it. If the ref had given it, probably couldn't have had too many complaints. Sunderland. It's one of them. Maybe an amber decision. If the ref gives it, VAR wouldn't have overturned it. The ref doesn't give it, VAR's not looking at it. So I think it's one of them, but no VAR today anyway. Ref didn't like it, so it's no penalty to Everton. Jabatuari says Chelsea, Charlton rolls right off the tooth. Charlton, Chelsea it is. It's at the Valley tonight. Wise Guy Maguire says sounds like Sunderland Palace will be good then. We should be back to form and rested. Here's Mikalenko, done very well there. Maybe a shot from distance. He's gone for it. Good save from Rivs. Straight down his throat, really. And Red Rebellion says Mark Gueye was joining Liverpool last summer. The only chance for Beto. No, headed away. The only reason that deal did not happen is because Glasner threatened to leave Palace. And Gavin says, was Moyes waiting to bring on another striker? Bring another striker on, you dinosaur. Foxy says the Borna Souls regression has been tragic ever since his Stuttgart days. No wonder Palace got him for only 2 million. And Wise Guy Maguire says, I feel like a pull is minor. It's holding and tugging. That's where the line is crossed. Yeah, if you listen, a shirt pull probably doesn't necessarily on its own get you a penalty unless it really does prevent a player from getting to a chance. I think if you're pulling a player back just as they're reaching to tap a ball into an empty net or something like that, that's a penalty. I think if you're pulling a player back and the ball's going away from goal, and it's not going to, and they fall backwards like that, I don't know. I don't think that's a pen. Or at least it's borderline. Dante, I beg that Macclesfield hold on. It would be amazing. Luke Etherington, when is Liverpool playing? Liverpool play Monday night against Barnsley. We're going to be covering that one on the channel as well. And Jabba says, pens depend on the badge, and we've got the wrong one. Oh, come on, mate. Don't say that. Don't say that. Everton have had some soft penalties as well. Although, admittedly, you've also had some definitely turned down that you should have. I thought the Barry one was insane how Arsenal didn't get that one given. He kicked right through Tierno Barry in the Arsenal game, didn't he? That should have been a penalty to Everton. So I'm not denying at all that Everton have had some given and some not given that they should have had. But I don't think it's a badge thing. Because believe me, we've had one penalty all season at Liverpool. One penalty. And we should have had definitely the Ekatiki one in the Leeds game the other week. We've had a few, but we've not had them given. Welsh Wing says there's talk that if Glasner goes, Palace will target the Sunderland manager. There's talks that they're going after... again, Inigo Perez was one mentioned. The former Bournemouth assistant manager to Iraola. He's now at Rayo Vallecano, doing very, very well in the Europa Conference League. Maybe one of the teams that Palace could meet in the Conference League. I think they're one of the favourites, actually. I think the three favourites for the Europa Conference League are Fiorentina, Palace and Rayo. Gag Server says, will Everton tie? 20 minutes to go. Everton are pressing. They've not really created anything. I think if Everton are going to get something, it's going to be off a set piece, and they've just won one here. I think if Everton are going to get anything, it's going to come from a Tarkovsky or a Jake O'Brien header from a set piece, and this is a perfect position. James Garner's just been fouled there. He was kicked by Sirkin, and it is a free kick to Everton. Perfect spot. About 30 yards, 40 yards out, but it's just to the right-hand side. So it's not going to be a shot on goal. It's going to be a ball in. Dante, not Strasbourg. Yeah, Strasbourg as well. Yeah. But again, possibly with Rosenior leaving. Maybe there's some players who might leave this month from from Strasbourg. Omega, potentially. Omega's already signed for Chelsea next season. Wouldn't be a surprise if Chelsea called him in because Liam Delap's not really been doing it. João Pedro, he's been kind of in and out. Palace have just scored, but the flag went up. And Foxy says Fiorentina bottle Europe every year. Also can't see them being a potential winner this season while they battle relegation. Serie A will come first. Yeah, they're right down the bottom, Fiorentina in Serie A, aren't they? Struggling. Really bizarre season for such a talented side. Moise Keane, ex-Everton there. Chance far post! Ooh, just about goes through. Didn't get anything from that free kick, Everton, and Sunderland come away with it. Three-star Red says, if we're talking penalties involving Everton, 4 words, Ashley Young, Stuart Atwell. Sunderland down the left-hand side here. Good defending, great defending that from Tarkovsky. Better defending than he managed for the goal anyway. Sunderland win it back. Who was that who carried the ball out there? Was that Merlin Roll again? Not his day today, Merlin Roll. Again, quite a few moments of him losing the ball. Maybe to be expected. Jabba says, I despair if we don't sub now. Well, you're in the last 20 minutes. I think if there is going to be a change, it's got to come soon to really make an impact. Foxy, Shakhtar I would throw in the mix of underdogs to win the Europa Conference. They have European pedigree. And Omar Indicar says, hi sir, new sub here, just discovered you. Everton fan from India. Much love, mate. Much love to India. Just a heads up, I'm not an Everton fan, but we watch everyone on this channel. So if you like football, watch-alongs, then you should like us. We've got a cracking community, lots of great people in the chat who support all different teams, and we're the Sadaks who watch lots and lots of football games, whoever's playing. We all support different teams. We all have a chat about all the different stuff in football from whoever's playing. We can have a conversation reasonably about... And to be honest, most of the people in the chat, really, really intelligent. Really, I say most. all the people in the chat generally, unless we have a bad night of trolls. But, yeah, we'll have a conversation about any football team and be able to talk well about them. Adam says, never pick an early kickoff on your weekend slips. Exactly right. That's the golden rule my dad always taught me. Never back the early kickoff. Doesn't matter who's playing, what the odds are. Always stay away from the early kickoff. Stephen says, hey Key, let's test your football knowledge. Fulham v Borough, what's the score? 3-0 Borough. No chance. Fulham win that one every day of the week, mate. Every day of the week. CB3147 says, Dibbling is horrific. Strike from distance, miles over the bar from Dwight McNeil. It's a very poor Everton attack today. Beto, McNeil, Dibbling. I don't want to say Harrison Armstrong because he's not. Harrison Armstrong's maybe a touch deeper. Merlin Roll is maybe the furthest forward. And he's not had a great day. Dibbling is coming off now for Tierno Barry. Doesn't say an awful lot, this, for Tyler Dibbling. I've got to say, he's only a young player, but 42 million. He was Everton's big signing. He's being taken off in a game where this is the game where he would have expected him to stay on the pitch and get 90 minutes. But Barry comes on to make a front two with Beto. So I don't know who's now going out wide for Everton. Don't know who's on the right-hand side for Everton. We've got Dwight McNeil still on the left. They've still got Harrison Armstrong, Merlin Roll and James Garner on the pitch. So looks like maybe McNeil is actually on the right-hand side. Who's on the left? Who's on the left here? I think it's Harrison Armstrong playing from the left, if anything. It is. Harrison Armstrong's going to play as a left mid. And it's going to be a throw into Everton. Thomas Harrison says, do you reckon Sunderland win? I mean, do you know what? I really wish I could say yes and have good faith. I just can't back against Everton in the last 15, 20 minutes. They've not done enough, Everton, have they? I've got every Everton fan in the chat telling me how poor Everton have been. And they have. They've been very poor today. They've not really done enough to get a point in this game. But it doesn't take much. And a set piece is all it'll take. So, yeah, I think from what we've seen, I would say Sunderland have got this one in the bag. It's a great bit of play, that, from Sunderland. Fabulous ball over to Romain Mundle on the left-hand side. He's driving into the box. Great bit of defending from Dwight McNeil, though, on his way back. Andy says, anyone who backs the early kickoffs only have themselves to blame. It's a throw into Everton near the halfway line. Welsh Wing says the Turkish supercomputer is intelligent. And 3-star says, this looks like Moyes throwing FA Cup ambitions under the bus. Ooh, that's a bold... Do we think this is... Maybe it's a deliberate thing from Moyes? I don't know. It can't be. Do you know what, though? He got a lot of stick earlier in the season, didn't he, David Moyes? Honestly, the most angry I have seen Everton fans this season have been... It was after the Wolves game. Because they went down to Wolves, picked a terrible side, and got knocked out of the Carling Cup, or Carabao Cup, sorry. Got knocked out of the Carabao Cup against Wolves. And it was like... Everton have two chances. They've not won a trophy in 30 years. That's been much publicised. Still a massive club. There's two trophies that have a meaningful chance of winning every year. And to throw one of them away, it's so poor. And it feels, yeah, maybe there's an element to that again today. It feels like Everton, if there's anything they should do, because they're not going to go down. They're not going to go down. So you should give it, really go both barrels for both of those competitions. It's really surprising to me. Pitting Todd says, what's your thoughts on Wolves' recent form? I think since Rob Edwards has come in, he's made him a lot more resilient and robust at the back. Header over the bar from Tarkovsky, quite comfortable for Sunderland. Stephen says, stop calling me intelligent, Key, I'm blushing. But you really do think nothing of Borough, Key. Borough will win. You're deluded by a team in the Premier League. All right, fair enough, mate. CB says he's lucky he's got 74 minutes. Hopefully Sunderland score so I can go to bed here in Australia. Lots of Aussies and New Zealanders watching us today. Lots of love to you guys down under. It's a tough watch for an Everton fan today. It must be. Hey, there's two balls on the pitch here, ref. Come on. He's played on. Ball into the box. Beto, Barry, just wide. Again, a bit of a tame header. Should he be doing better? But Barry's been on the pitch a matter of minutes and he's already starting to create a bit of chaos in there. Stephen King says, Key, why do you call yourself Football Dad to rake in more views, as that's your content, even though your championship knowledge is rubbish? No. You say my championship knowledge is rubbish only because I don't think Borough are going up. That's my that's your gripe. Foxy says the Tyler Dibbling deal is everything that's wrong in the English game right now. Good English potential equals overpriced. I watched Tyler Dibbling, though, last season for Southampton, and I've got to say, when Everton signed him for 40-odd million, I thought, I really don't want him to go there because he's such a talented young player. I'm just baffled by how little time he's actually got. And he, even coming off the pitch then, he cut a really frustrated figure. He cut like I can't believe you're taking me off here. I'm sure he's disappointed in his own performance. He's disappointed that he's not getting 90 minutes. I get it, but I'm really surprised that Moyes hasn't just let him. And I don't think he's been any worse, really, than anyone else on the pitch today. Everton haven't been fantastic, full stop. There's nobody who's really caused issues for Sunderland going forward. Look at the state of that. Terrible pass that from, again, is it Merlin Roll? Can't pass 10-15 yards in. Every time he's picked the ball up from deep. It's been really difficult to watch. Red Rebellion says the issue with Dibbling is he's been thrown into the deep end when he has never been given a chance to develop his game further and now is expected to deliver compared to someone who is experienced. Well, the problem is he's competing with Iliman and Ndiaye on that right-hand side, isn't he? And in fairness, he's also competing with Dwight McNeil, who can play on that right-hand side. Because Jack Grealish has occupied the left-hand slot for most of the season. So it's a tough ask for him to get any minutes. But when he does get minutes, when he does get opportunities like this one, I would have expected Moyes gives him the full 90 minutes. And then rather than, dragging him off the pitch with 20 to go, he's the one player Everton have got that can drive and create a bit of a... I'm not saying he has done, he hasn't today, but he has been quite poor today. But if you were saying who's the paciest Everton player who's maybe got a chance of dropping a shoulder, beating a full-back and getting a ball in, Dibbling's probably the only one. So, it doesn't make a lot of sense, that substitution, to me. I think Harrison Armstrong's probably been the best Everton player today. Merlin Roll, has he won a free kick? Or does he give a free kick away? I think he's give a free kick away, though. 3 stars says, I hope my championship experience does not come into play again next season. 23 years for Forest was enough. And Stephen says, Rob Edwards has done nothing for Wolves. They won 1 game since he arrived. Oh, here we go. A Borough fan who doesn't like Rob Edwards. There's no surprise. Pitting Todd says, I see Wolves having a strong end of the season. Edwards will get us back up and hopefully Fossen will back him. I think he's done very well. Yeah, he's made Wolves a lot more robust and resilient. Red Wave says that Liverpool performance was something to be proud of overall. Seem to be improving. Just need a striker. Need a fair bit more than a striker to be challenging next season, mate. Sarah says Ollie in talks with Man United. I can't believe Ollie. Can't believe Ollie's going back to United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer back at United after the run that he went on. Just before he finished, he got battered 5-0 by Liverpool at Old Trafford, got battered 4-1 by Watford at Vicarage Road. They were getting smashed left, right and centre. I never thought we'd see him in a job for a while. Jimmy P says, love to see Palace getting battered by Macclesfield. FA Cup holders crashing out in the 3rd round. Stephen says, Borough might not get promoted, but to back against them is just lack of championship knowledge. You can't predict Liverpool, never mind top championship squad. What do you mean I can't predict Liverpool? You can't predict Liverpool. Liverpool turn up one week and don't turn up the next. But that's the same with Borough. 1 win in 5 for Borough. So no, I don't think Borough go up. Ollie at the wheel says Red Rebellion. Welsh wing Ferdinand will be collecting Ollie's. Ferdinand will be celebrating that Ollie's back. And Stephen says, Key, Rob Edwards has won 1 game since he arrived. So how can you say he's doing very well and robust? That's deluded, really, Key. I'm saying he's doing very well in comparison to the team that he inherited. Like I said, the only games that Wolves have lost have really been, generally since he came back in, have been quite narrow. They've been 1-0 defeats and he's picked up a couple of draws here and there. He's gone to the Emirates, he's gone to Anfield and competed. I think he's improved. He's lifted Wolves' level. Jordan says, let's pretend we've scored a goal. Jabir Twari says, Rob Edwards doubled Wolves' points tally. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, he's come and doubled Wolves' points tally, which admittedly is not, is not all that impressive considering where they were before. But, going and getting a point at Old Trafford. Arsenal never really scored a goal past them, did they, at the Emirates? I know they still lost that one. They gave Liverpool a game at Anfield. They lost only narrowly against Villa, who were on this magnificent run. So, yeah, he's definitely improved them. It's crazy to think otherwise. Right, Nathan Patterson's just fouled. Who is it he fouled in the middle? Romain Mundle, I think. Romain Mundle's been a handful for Sunderland today. I think if I was giving a man of the match today, I think Romain Mundle would be up there. I think he's done very, very well on that left-hand side for Sunderland. Done very, very well. Ends Olafay with a great finish, but I think if we're talking about a player who's picked the ball up and looked dangerous and, really been direct and ran at the full-back every opportunity, Romain Mundle up against Nathan Patterson. I think he's had the better of him today. Foxy says, Wolves have played well in games they have lost. They just need to recruit defensively and they have half a chance. People clearly haven't been watching Wolves lately. I think it's more to do with, if I'm dead honest, mate, I think it's more to do with the fact that Stephen is a Middlesbrough fan and he's got a lot to say about Rob Edwards because he left Middlesbrough. He doesn't like Rob Edwards. So I don't think it's anything to do with Stephen not watching Wolves, rather. Welsh Ring says, what are your thoughts on Simeone telling Vinny, Perez will sell you, he hates you? Has he said that? I like that. Welsh Ring 5-1 to Wolves. Nick Garland, how has Siddiqui played? Okay. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the Sunderland midfield haven't... I don't think the Sunderland midfield have really dominated, but I don't think they've been troubled either. It's been a bit of a mad game. A lot of the chances have come from both teams playing quite long. There's not been a lot of fantastic, one-touch football playing through the lines or any of that stuff. It's been lots of second balls, lots of long balls, winning aerial challenges, and then, yeah, a bit of a scrap. It's been a bit more of an old-fashioned game, I guess, this one. Merlin Roll's been taken off for Everton, and who is it who's coming on here? Asnu. It's not a particularly attacking sub, is it? Merlin Roll, playing at number 10 today, has come off for Asnu, the young left-back that Everton signed from Bayern. Odd move, that. Stephen says, Edwards has done great and robust. 1 win since he arrived. You can't say he's doing great, Key. Stop being a yes man. He doubled Wolves' points. Crazy thing otherwise. A win and a draw, 4 points. Stop it. Well, you've not watched the performances then, let's say that. Welsh Ring says, yeah, you should watch the clip where Alonso angrily squares up to him for telling Vinny that. Yeah, I haven't seen it. But obviously, listen, we're going to be watching Barca v Real Madrid on Sunday. Jabba says, Asnu finally gets 5 minutes. Dante, Trafford, Elaine and Makeda will start for City against Exeter. Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, some big changes for City against Exeter. I think that was expected in the 3 o'clocks. Just a reminder, I'm not going to be doing a 3 o'clock game because we are doing the 5:30 game, which is Tottenham against Aston Villa, another all-Premier League clash. That one's going to be a great game. Looking forward to that. We might also do Chelsea against Charlton. If you fancy coming back to watch that one with us, and having a chat about whatever tickles your fancy in football. We can talk about whatever you want. Everton in the box, and it is Asnu. Good turn from Asnu. Claim for a penalty. Has he give it? He has! Oh my God, the referee's given a penalty. Asnu's won a penalty in the last 2 minutes. It's a yellow card for Xhaka, and I don't think he's actually getting a yellow card for the foul. I think he's got a yellow card here for dissent, because he ran screaming at the referee there. Asnu wins the penalty. There's no VAR to check this, by the way. So it is going to be a pen to Everton. Oh, my goodness me. What an absolutely unbelievable decision this was. Does he get him? Does he kick him? Oh, hey, I don't know. No, that's not a pen. That's not a penalty. Come on, Everton fans. It was Hume. It wasn't even Xhaka. Xhaka got booked for dissent. Hume has tackled him, but he hasn't touched him. He hasn't touched him. That is never, ever, ever a penalty. It is never a penalty. That it's a soft one. But again, we're talking about, you know, Jabba, you said to me earlier that only Everton penalty decisions are given based on a badge. You told me earlier. I think you've got to say, mate, that is very, very soft. It is incredibly soft. And James Garner, the only player on the pitch that I would trust if I was an Everton fan, is about to step up here. Everton 0, Sunderland 1, 89th minute, penalty at the Hill Dickinson. Right-footed, James Garner scores! It's 1-1. We're going to go to extra time in this one. Oh, my goodness me. We're going to go to extra time. And David Moyes, he'll be made up with Asnu coming on and winning that one. But goodness me, I don't think that one was a penalty at all. Macclesfield 2, Palace 1. There might be a comeback later on at the leasing.com stadium as well. How many minutes are we going to get in that one? 89th minute on the clock there, and Pino's just scored. So, depending on added time, Palace could they could take that one to extra time as well. Three stars says, Key, have you seen Velton comedy video of the angry man arguing about a universal credit job offered on Facebook? I haven't, no, mate. Foxy says, would you prefer straight to pens rather than extra time? I don't know. I think for the FA Cup, I think I'd want to see another 30 minutes. I actually don't like seeing teams go through and out on penalties. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's another yellow card for Sunderland here. It's Xhaka who got booked earlier. Ballard has been booked this time, by the way. The referee it's 6 minutes in the Palace game. How many minutes are we getting in this one? 4. Tierno Barry, that one was a foul. That one was a foul from Dan Ballard on Asnu. That one definitely was a foul. Jabba, he says, and yet I have no confidence that we can win a shootout. And Ben says, bullshit, that Ben. Red Rebellion, penalties are the worst way to get knocked out of a competition. Peter Singley and Welsh Ring, it's now 6-1 to Wolves. Are we going to get a late winner in normal time here, though? Asnu's been a bright spark since he's come on, I've got to say. And has he won a corner here? No, goal kick. Just a reminder of the other goals, the other results in the other games. Cheltenham 0, Leicester 2. That one, I think, is pretty much done. Everton 1, Sunderland 1 here. Macclesfield 2, Palace 1. There's 6 minutes of injury time in that one to go. Wolves 6, Shrewsbury 1. That one's finished at Molineux. Big, big win for Wolves. Desperately needed. And now, does that help them in their chance or chase for staying up in the Prem? David MC says, Pickford to win it for Everton on pens with a vital save. Up the Toffees. Foxy says, didn't Liverpool win with golden goal against Alaves? Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was an own goal, golden goal, funnily enough, from, who was it who scored it? I should know his name. Delphi Gelly. Delphi Gelly own goal for Alaves against Liverpool, 2001 UEFA Cup final at Westfalen Stadium. Loved it. Gary McAllister, free kick in, Delphi Gelly flick on, OG. Everyone thought that was just us in front, and actually it was a golden goal. It was crazy. Gag services, how long is the extra time? 4 minutes. There's 2 minutes left. We already played 2. Tierno Barry's just been booked. Cheltenham Leicester has also blown up for full time now. Jabba says, as new from Barcelona, no doubt already familiar with the dark arts. It's a throw-in for Sunderland, and they're going to launch this one in the box. Speaking of dark arts, this is it. Direct. Launch into the box. Hi, player. How's it going, hi, player? Reese, that was 100% a dive, that from Asnu. Sunderland, opportunity to put the ball back in. It's going to be a corner kick. Corner kick. Foxy says, Xavi Moreno, what a player he was for Alaves. Yeah, very good. He played that day as well. Bryn says, think we dodged that. It was telling you there was never a penalty, that. I Am Crute says, have you seen the Brentford lineup? They've gone strong. No Bannon for Sheffield Wednesday either. Could be a big one, that. Liam, how's it going, mate? Good to see you. Thank you for subscribing. Mr. C says, is it a pens or a replay? It's extra time, then penalties. So could well go to pens. But yeah, you've got another 30 minutes of extra time at least. Sunderland playing it nice and neatly around the box. It's launched in and headed away. And now 30 seconds to go. Alex says, how are things, Key? Being in bed with the flu. Good result for us against Arsenal. It was a very good result for Liverpool. Sorry to hear you're not feeling so well, mate. Hopefully you recover fairly quickly. Everyone's been poorly at the minute, aren't they? Everyone gets ill in January. Gag Serza, if I put double chance Everton, does it still win? Yes. Right, there you go. Full time in this one. So it is going to go to extra time. Stick around with me. Server says, sorry, Key, but he was getting annoying. Have you just timed him out? He'll come easy, Stephen. Just if you're still on, mate, just come back tomorrow. Just chill out, calm down, come back tomorrow. Twisted Fate says Macclesfield fans are ace. They're cheering for every clearance, tackle, pass right now. Right, interact. So it's full time, but it is going to go to extra time in this one. I said, who scored, Key? It was James Gana with the penalty. Look at Xhaka. Xhaka's raging. Yeah, it was a penalty from James Gana in basically the 90th minute. It was never a penalty. It was a dive from Asnu. Xhaka is raging. What's up with him? What is wrong with him? Why is Xhaka all of a sudden screaming? What is going on? He's not a happy boy, is he? He is not happy. He's raging, Granit Xhaka. Carl says Chelsea will be out tonight as well. I'm just thinking. Jabba says, I'm sure once I see the pen replay, I'll have that wide-eyed meme face. I mean, I'm telling you. I promise you. And you're going to say, I'm sure all the Everton fans, I can hear him saying it. Yeah, red shite. Of course you're going to say it's not a pen. I'm telling you, that wasn't a pen. That was not a pen. That was definitely not a pen. David Moyes just having a word with all of his troops, and I think he's directing a lot of his chat towards Asnu, to be fair, because Asnu has been very good since he's come on. I think, give him his credit, he's only got 5-10 minutes at the end of the game. He's kept Everton in this. We're just going to see the goals back here now. Mayenda laying it off to Lefay. Shocking defending from Tarkovsky, in my opinion. Great finish from Lefay, and it was 1-0 Sunderland, and then Asnu winning it back, tackle, gets in the box. It was never a penalty. Never, ever, ever a penalty, that. But James Garner steps up and smashes it in the bottom corner. Be Yourself Dylan says Palace are out. Wow. Yep. Crystal Palace, FA Cup holder. They're not out. They're not out yet. It's still going on. They probably will be out, but they're not out yet. Davey says they didn't put their accounts in before deadline on the 31st. Oh, Cardiff. Yeah. Cardiff. Listen, all the other games kick off at 3 p.m. in the FA Cup. And, yeah, by the time they all kick off, probably will be done by penalty shootout here, assuming nobody wins in the next 30 minutes. Jabatwani, Moyes telling Asnu he apologises, he wasn't really familiar with his game. He's done really well. Got to give him his due. And it is full time now at the leasing.com stadium, Macclesfield. Macclesfield. Of all teams, Macclesfield. Not even of the National League. They are a National League North side, Macclesfield, and only a mid-table side in the National League North. And they have beaten Crystal Palace, the holders of the FA Cup. They got beat last week against Chester. They got beat the week before against Buxton. But they've beaten Crystal Palace today. Unbelievable. Palace are out. Macclesfield Town. Absolutely unbelievable. What a result that is. Huge win. So there you go. That's probably going to dominate the headlines today. Palace going out. Football for life. Is it extra time or straight to pens? It's extra time and then penalties, potentially, if it's still a draw. So we watched last night. I don't know if you was following along, but we watched Wrexham against Nottingham Forest. That one was 3-3 in extra time and went to penalties. Wrexham winning, going through on pens. So it does go through to extra time and pens. The Liking Trash says, massive morale booster win for Macclesfield. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Macclesfield in the National League are quite comfortably away from the relegation places. They're mid-table, but they're only maybe 3 points off the playoffs. They could potentially get themselves back up into the National League. But they are a long, long way down the English football pyramid from Crystal Palace. So it's a huge loss. A huge, huge loss for Palace. Ronnie says that's worse than our loss to Grimsby. Oh, comfortably. Yeah, comfortably. Brendan says, hi, Key. Draws dominating your watch-alongs this year. It is. Yeah, we've had a strange year in terms of draws. But extra time is off and underway here. At the Hill Dickinson. James says Cardiff's response, all necessary paperwork will be submitted in the coming days, resolved, and embargo will be removed. We wish to stress this will not impact our January recruitment strategy. Crazy that from Cardiff, isn't it? Wise Guy Maguire says Sunderland are coming for Palace next. Yeah, Palace's next fixtures are Sunderland away, Chelsea at home, Forest away, Brighton away. And actually, if you look at Palace's results, they haven't won, Palace, since they played Shelbourne over a month ago. They lost to City, drew with Coops, lost to Leeds, lost to Arsenal, lost to Tottenham, drew with Fulham, lost to Newcastle, drew with Villa, lost to Macclesfield. The last month has been thoroughly miserable if you're a Palace fan. And Welsh Wing says Gueye being angrily confronted by Palace fans. Jabbertwari says, must admit, Dyche getting done in by Deadpool was a bit of a schadenfreude. Sunderland long throw into the box. Flicked on by Ballard. And I think it's going to be a free kick. It is, yep, free kick to Everton. He's not happy with it, Ballard. Get in, Macclesfield, says Vincent. Fans lifting the players up. Fans running on the pitch. Crazy scenes at Macclesfield. Wise Guy Maguire says Sunderland need Isidore in and Alderete in. They need someone that can win those early aerial challenges. Ballard coming in has certainly helped, but I agree. If you look at Sunderland at the minute, they look most vulnerable from set pieces. They look most vulnerable off crosses. Beto and Barry are going to dominate those aerial challenges. And they're going long already, Everton. Look at that. Pickford goes long. Beto wrestling with, I think it's Luca 9, and it is a free kick to Sunderland. But 30 minutes of extra time will fly by really quickly here. It did last night in the Wrexham game, and before you know it, we'll have penalties upon us. The poll earlier in the game said Everton were 49% of the chat thought Everton would win, 32% thought Sunderland, and 19% thought a draw. So we'll ask again once we hit penalties who people fancy. Lucas says, are they going straight to penalties or extra time? It's extra time and then penalties. We're now in extra time, mate, yeah. Twisted Fate, big up John Rooney, showed Palace how to manage a team. And Welsh Wing, what division are Macclesfield in? Macclesfield are in National League North, mate. They're a mid-table side in National League North. Mundell, good strike, good save from Pickford. Ball in again, easy clearance from Everton. But Sunderland applying a bit of pressure early in the first half of extra time here. And now Beto driving forward. He's just not got the pace, has he? He's got all the strength, but not the pace. And he's lost it. He got crowded out there. Unlucky Beto. Did all right there. 14th in National League North. Well, Wise Guy Maguire says Sunderland need a win as well, surviving AFCON and fatigue. I don't think extra time particularly suits either manager here. I think, to be honest, if you'd have asked Moyes and Régis Le Bris, do you fancy just going straight to pens? I think they'd probably took that. But an extra 30 minutes, neither manager welcome, but that's what they've got. And it's the first... Is this going to be... It will be the first penalty shootout at the Hill Dickinson. The first FA Cup tie. The first penalty shootout. If it does indeed go to that. We don't know yet. Service is karma for not allowing Liverpool to buy Gueye. That's a foul, ref. That's a foul. Come on. That was a clear foul on Sunderland. Oh, he's let it go. Everton got away with that one. Welsh Wing says, was Macclesfield the one Sol Campbell managed once? Oh, I don't know. I don't think he did manage. Did he manage them? I know he managed. He went to Notts County. Strike again from Mundle. Good save from Pickford. It's all outside the area from Mundle. It's baffling that we've not really had too many changes, to be honest. How many changes have we actually had so far? Brobby's come on for a Dingra. Ballard come on for Mayenda. And then Barry for Dibbling, Asnu for Roll. But other than that, there's not been too many changes for either side. I thought we'd maybe have seen a bit more. Given, like you said, the fatigue, the AFCON challenges, injuries, suspensions. Managers deciding to back the players that they've got. Barry does really well here. What a ball. Bit heavy. Beto can't reach it. He's driven in wide. But Barry did terrific there. Good drop of the shoulder. Gets into the box. Brendan says, is Grealish playing? No, Grealish is suspended for clapping the referee in the Wolves game. He got a red card in the Wolves game for sarcastically clapping the referee while already on a yellow card. Silly, silly decision. Definite red card. Michael Keane also suspended for pulling her in that game. La Pulga says, are Macclesfield Football Club considered a semi-pro football association? Most teams in the 6th League are. No, I think most of the players who'd play for Macclesfield would be professional footballers. They'd still get a half-decent wage. And a lot of them will be players who've dropped down a few levels. Used to play in the National League, used to play in the maybe the league, look like League 2, League 1. Older players. Everton, strike from McNeil, miles over the bar. It wasn't McNeil, so it was Harrison Armstrong with the strike. But yeah, it's in extra time, in the opening 7 minutes of extra time, Sunderland have had most of the ball, but Everton starting to come back into it. Sunderland have had 2 shots on target in the opening 6 minutes. They've had 66% possession in the opening 6-7 minutes here of extra time. But Everton starting to grow back into the game. I think if you're Sunderland, if you're Régis Le Bris, given the players that Everton have out, you're probably looking at this and thinking, let's try and get this done in extra time. What we don't want to do is go to a penalty shootout, go to a lottery. We want to try and get this done in normal time with 11v11. Let's try and do it that way, rather than, like I said, it's a lottery, isn't it? It's a penalty if it's penalties. Isaac Wrighty says, yo bro, have you seen that Liverpool has signed Ndiaye? Yes, more Ndiaye. It's going to be a corner kick to Sunderland, I think. Is it? Yeah, corner kick to Sunderland. Yeah, more Ndiaye, young 17 years, I think, centre-back. Jabatuari says, to be fair, I also sarcastically clapped the ref. Oh, okay, fair enough. Sol Campbell did manage Macclesfield and I think Southend. Oh, we did. I wasn't aware. I've got to say, yeah, I wasn't aware he managed Southend or Macclesfield. Red Rebellion apparently we're still in for Bastoni. Twisted Fate, what the fuck was Wharton playing at? Okay, this was a bigger loss than I thought. Yeah, Wharton was playing, Gueye was playing. Sunderland corner, cleared away at the front post. Poor corner that. Always feel like a corner that doesn't beat the front post is shocking. You've got to do better than that. Wins another corner, Sunderland. Ben says, why are Everton playing in black? They're not playing in black. It's like a navy blue / pink. Navy blue kit with pink piping. It's a memorial commemorative kit because it's the first ever FA Cup tie at the Hill Dickinson. Xhaka corner, chance for it. Oh, unlucky. It's flicked on at the near post and it's cleared away. Back to Xhaka. Good defending again from Asnu. Honestly, he's been their best player today, Asnu. I'm really surprised he's not started more. Baffling. Since he's come on, he's actually been Everton's best player. Lapulga says it's the first time since 1909 that the holders have been knocked out by a non-league side. Here we go. Romain Mundle. Driving forward for Sunderland. Lays it off. Floated into the box. Too easy that. And Pickford claims it. Jabatuari black is a historic kit colour for Everton. I'm sure that's not black. I'm sure that's it's like a navy blue in it with pink. It's a very dark blue. Foxy says Macclesfield currently semi-pro, staying part-time until they reach the National League. And Jabby says the fourth kit training top is pretty cool. Has the drawings of Liverpool landmarks. Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, that is nice. Yeah. Quite a few nice kits, to be fair, in the Prem. Mr. C says only 1 game suspension, though. It is, yes. Only a 1 game suspension. Right, Dwight McNeil driving forward. Carrying Everton forward is Beto. Sorry, it was Barry. And the ball gets played back. Sunderland win it back and launch it up the pitch for Brian Brobby to chase down. Lapulga says the outrage in this would exponentially be lesser than the Grimsby loss for United. Oh, clearly. Clearly, yeah. And Jabba says you're right about it being dark blue. I wasn't sure if it were. It just looks more dark blue than like a clear black. Seemed a bit lighter than black. Davey says Macclesfield 2, Crystal Palace 1. The Silkmen, who are 117 places below the Eagles, became the first non-league team to defeat the FA Cup holders since 1909. The Silkmen. Jake, were you expecting Semenyo to start today? Not really. Is he starting? I've not seen. Ollie says, where do we watch this? You watch this on TNT Sport 5. So you'll have to go to TNT Sports, push the red button. I don't know why I'm showing you, but push the red button and then you can click TNT Sports 5, Everton versus Sunderland. We are heading for the second half of extra time and potentially penalties. It's deadlocked at 1-1 at the minute. A penalty from James Gana in the last minute that's taken Everton onto through into extra time. And to be honest, it's probably an extra time that Everton, if we're being dead honest, Everton scarcely deserve extra time. Not played well today at all. But Asnu came off the bench, and as Asnu's sort of lit up the game, I think he's done very well since he's come on. He's done something that a lot of Everton players haven't done today, including the players who've probably been knocking the door down to David Moyes and saying, listen, why aren't you starting me? Why can't I get more game time? You know, you give me a chance, give me a chance. Diblin was terrible today. Merlin Roll, I think, has been awful today. Asnu has come off the bench. He's only given him 10 minutes at the end, and he's come on and basically dragged Everton back into the competition. He's been terrific. Semenyo is starting. Semenyo, Cherky, Haaland, front three against Exeter. That should be about 9-0 then, shouldn't it? Oh, Everton are in here. It is Beto. Strike. Side netting. Gotta hit the target there, Beto. Big chance that for Everton. Beto in the box. Everton fans applaud the effort, but I think you got to work the keeper there. Jabber, I hope someone's tried to bribe the ref with a pint and a pretzel. And Red Rebellion says Pep's going big because he knows this could be the only trophy they can win this season. I do. I think Beto's got to do better there. I really do. Man like Harv. Hi, Key. How are you today, mate? I'm very good, mate. How are you, more importantly? Very good. Jake says the 11 for City is Trafford, Lewis, Kusanov, Eleni, Aki, Rodri, Reinders, McAdoo, Cherky, Semenyo, Haaland. Should do well. Alex has been saying this about Asnu since we signed him. Bayern wanted to have a buyback. He must be good. Well, Mikalenko's been taken off now. Who's come on? Who's come on for Mikalenko? It is Campbell. Campbell on for Mikalenko. Does that change maybe where Asnu plays? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Maybe not. Elijah Campbell probably goes straight into left back. I think he has, yeah. Elijah Campbell's gone straight to left back. So Mikalenko off, Elijah Campbell on to make his Everton debut, I think. He's not yet played for Everton. He was at Ross County on loan last year, Elijah Campbell. We watched him in the in the Scottish relegation playoff final. It was one of the best games we've watched on this channel, that. Ross County against Livingston. Unbelievable game. And I think he played in that one for Ross County. Ooh, Pickford landing on top of Nathan Patterson there. Vos Styler, I am really happy for Semenyo going to City, you know. And Pixel says, have you heard about Palace upset? Yes, we've just been talking about it. Crazy. First time the Holders have gone out to a non-league side since 1909. We've seen history today. Isaac Wright, he says, Merlin Roll is awful every day, not just today. He's not been good today, Merlin Roll. He hasn't been good. I know he's a young player. It's half-time in extra time here. Half-time in extra time. Still 15 to go. Potentially penalties as well to come in this one. Up the fucking Palace says, what a joke. Palace needs a reset. Sell all our valuable players whilst we still can and let OG ride his last season out. I give up hope with Europe and top four. Let's hope we don't get relegated. I think that's excessive, mate. It's been a bad month for Palace. You've had a really, really tough month, but you're nowhere near that. I just think what we're seeing is a predictable end to a manager's tenure. Oliver Glasner's already let it be known he's probably not going to be at the club next season. And I think if you're a player and you're listening to that manager, you're probably looking at it and going, well, I'm not going to take much advice from you. You're not here next year. Sani, love from Bangladesh. Lots of love to Bangladesh, mate. Isaac Wrighty. Oh, sorry, we've done that one. Jabba says it'd be nice if Beto would repeat his purple patch form from last season, starting now. He was unbelievable last season. The movement off the ball from Beto. I remember the goal he scored in the derby. Absolutely incredible run from him, and then a great finish. Some of the goals he was scoring was top class, and then this season, back to default settings. Not great. Mike Fox says Sunderland are so going to win against Everton. Do you think on penalties? Possibly. Up the Palace says, would have rather us not had a decent start to the season. Got teased with the possibility of success, only for it to turn into this. And Harry Sinclair says, hey Key, how are you? Good to see you, Harry. Long time no see, mate. Good to see you back in the chat. Learned at my staff party on Monday that mango vodka is a dangerous mixer. I drank 37.9 units. How are you still alive, kid? And it ended with angry parents and nearly aspirating my own sick. Well, bloody hell, mate. I'm glad you're okay. Yeah, don't be drinking that much. Don't be drinking that much. That's not smart. Stay away from mango vodka in future. Sani says, do you know Hamza Chowdhury? I do, yeah. He played today for Leicester, of course, against Cheltenham. Jabber says the past 2 weeks have been tough for most clubs. 4 league matches, cup tie, AFCON, injuries, suspensions, of course, as well. Certainly affecting Everton. But yeah, this is the time of year when it starts to really impact. Wilson Isidore's about to come on for Sunderland. So this is the clearest sign yet that Sunderland are really going to give this a go in the last 15 minutes. We've got 15 minutes of normal time, extra time, and then it's penalties. I think we're going to see Sunderland throw the absolute kitchen sink at Everton here. Robbie's been taken off. And he doesn't look happy. Why has Robbie been taken? Robbie only came on half an hour ago. Why has Robbie been taken off? Jordan Pickford's got his penalty cheat sheet there. Jordan Pickford on penalties. There's certainly one. That's one to back. But Isidore's just been brought on. A sub coming on for a sub. Don't see that very often. Okay, last 15 minutes. Potentially penalties beyond that. If you're new around here, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. Help a brother out. I'm a brand new channel. And we're in the race for 10k. Ooh, bad tackle on Mukiele there. And it was from Elijah Campbell. Elijah Campbell, no messing about. Yeah, straight through the back of him. Okay, back off and underway for the second half. BC Banana says, as an Evertonian, I'm so nervous it isn't even funny. And Callum Coyle says, pens this and Sunderland to win on penalties. Corby says, is the FA Cup exposing the weaknesses of the Premier League? I think what we're seeing is Premier League sides maybe not taking the FA Cup as seriously as they should. It's a very, very good competition. The oldest competition in the world. It's kind of fallen into the Carabao Cup category, isn't it? Big teams, and not even just big teams, let's be honest, every team rotating quite heavily. You saw Forest rotate quite heavily away at Wrexham. Not saying Forest aren't a big club, by the way. 2 European Cups, they're certainly a big club, but still heavily rotated away at Wrexham yesterday, and it's cost them. Sean Dyche said it after the game, didn't he? He came out and said, listen, these players have been knocking on my door for opportunities. Maybe today is a clear reason why they've not been getting them. And I think there's maybe a degree of that today with Everton. Tyler Diblin, Merlin Roll. I'm sure they'll have been asking, why am I not getting more starts? They've not been great today. But Asnu's been an absolute revelation off the bench. He's got a penalty he shouldn't have got, but it's still a penalty all the same. He's come on and made a difference for him. Gag Server says, is it penalties yet? No, isn't a penalty. Penalties are in another 13 minutes, assuming it's still level. Visca says, who are Liverpool playing? Liverpool play Barnsley on Monday night. I'll be live for that one. Foxy says, I'm a Newcastle fan and was fuming when you signed Munoz. Most Toon fans were laughing at me on the Newcastle channels, saying players from the Belgian league can't do well in the Prem. Munoz has been, talking of a revelation, top quality. Isidore is a bullet, says wise guy Maguire. Well, he's going to have to be a player that either scores in the next 13 minutes or very good at putting penalties away. Jimmy says, did you see Gueye having a go at the fans? I haven't. No, I've not seen anything of that just yet. I'll probably have a look after this game. I'm only back on later on tonight for the Tottenham v Villa game at 5:30, so I'll be back on at 5 o'clock. If you want to do the watch along with me later, Tottenham Villa, 5 o'clock I'll be live for that one. Kicks off at 5:30. Another all Premier League clash. Can't really pick a winner in that one either. Spurs, bit of a mixed bag recently under Thomas Frank. He's under a lot of pressure, but I imagine Villa might rotate quite heavily in that one as well. Visca says, do you think Gerrard is the greatest player of all time? I'm not sure I would say greatest player of all time, mate. No, I think he might well be Liverpool's greatest player of all time. Oh, in terms of Liverpool? Possibly. Yeah, possibly. Yellow card for Mukiele there. He's not happy either. It's going to be a handball. It's on the halfway line. I don't think he's quite happy with it being given as a handball. Oh, no. Oh, was he whinging for that? It's basically a clothesline on Asnu. That was definitely a yellow card. Yeah, he's clotheslined him. You can't do that, mate. Carl, if you had to choose any match to be another upset, which one would you reckon? Which one would I like? I'd love it if Chelsea got beat by Charlton tonight. I'd laugh my head off. Absolutely laugh my balls off if Charlton managed to beat Chelsea at the Valley tonight. Asnu down the left-hand side. He's done very well again. Gets crowded out. Sunderland win it back. Foxy says, Igor Thiago, also another one from the Belgian League team, starting to switch on. A lot of talent there. Here's Beto. Good tackle. And Sunderland win it back. And now they push up on the counter-attack. There's 3 on. Everton have got a lot of players back. Sunderland now getting some bodies forward, but Everton have got far too many bodies back here. It shouldn't really be. Yeah, straight through to Pickford. Stuart Carr, are you a Liverpool supporter? I am, mate, yes. I am a Liverpool supporter, but this isn't a Liverpool fan channel. I watch everyone on this channel. We watch everyone and anyone. We watch Serie A, we watch La Liga, we're watching the Super Cup final, Barca and Real Madrid tomorrow. We're watching all the FA Cup games. But yeah, I am a Liverpool fan. Dad's been a Liverpool fan since 1972, gone all the games home and away. So I was always going to be a red, but my granddad's a blue. So I wouldn't say a soft spot for Everton, but I've got a lot of family members who are blues. Sally says, Vamos Everton. Harry Sinclair, I don't know if it counts as an upset, but I think Man United will lose to Brighton. I don't even think that would be an upset. No, I think Brighton will probably go into that. Maybe I don't know about favourites, but I don't think they'd be surprised. It wouldn't be a surprise, would it? Finn says, definitely a yellow, that clothesline. It was, wasn't it? Yeah, easily a yellow. Poor from Mukiele, that. Tierno Barry's just been wiped out. I think that one winded him. Big fall. Big tree fall hard from Tierno Barry. He's a big, tall lad. And he jumped for the ball there. And I think there was a little bit of the Harry Kane, a little bit of something, leaning into him. And he landed quite awkwardly there. He's a big, big lad, Tierno Barry. Styler says, and Burmo is back. I don't think he's going straight into the side, though, for the City game. From what I can tell, there's rumours that there's still maybe international clearance to deal with, and I don't think he plays straight away. Good defending from Everton, and it's James Gana again. Beto wins the tussle. He's claiming a free kick. He's not going to get it. In fact, he's lost it. If anything, it's been a free kick to Sunderland, the referee says. Nathan says, big mistake taking Brobby off Sunderland. Well, they brought him on. It's a curious one, that. And he didn't look injured. He looked pissed off, Brobby. He looked really upset. Because, yeah, he's come on in the 70th minute, I think, for Sunderland. And then been taken off, like, half-time and extra time for Isidore. Don't make a lot of sense to me. Adam says we even watched the English Isthmian League on here. We've not watched the Isthmian. We have done the English National League on here, mind. Visca says, I think this is just worse. Madrid team of all time. They'll lose 5-0 tomorrow. And Jabba says a United loss is always upsetting to their supporters. Enjoy the atmosphere. Twisted Fake Key, is it just me that thinks it's stupid that City Exeter isn't live TV? To be honest, I'm surprised so many of these FA Cup games aren't on terrestrial TV. It's very surprising. Most FA Cup games, I think all FA Cup games today are on some kind of broadcaster, but most of them are paid. Sani says, who is going to win this match? Tell me. It's going to go to penalties for me. There's 7 minutes left, and I think it's almost certainly going to be penalties. It's going to be a lottery. So we'll do a poll in the chat. We'll ask the chat what they think. What you guys think. Reese, genuinely, I think Xhaka might be the signing of the season. Yeah, he's been terrific. He's definitely raised standards at Sunderland, hasn't he? Lapulga says Paul Dawson quit his job as a supervisor on the motorway to pursue his football career at Macclesfield. He's just knocked out the FA Cup holders Palace, scored a goal and won man of the match. That is a proper FA Cup story for the annuals, that one. Because honestly, when you think of... That's a bit like the Roy Sando story. Have a look. If you don't know who Roy Sando is, very, very similar story to that. He replied to an advert that Wycombe Wanderers, who weren't the Wycombe Wanderers that you necessarily know today, but Wycombe Wanderers needed a centre-forward, and they put an advert out on teletext with a promise that they would play them in the FA Cup game at Filbert Street. That was then Filbert Street. It was Leicester City Stadium. And Roy Sando came off the bench for Wycombe and won them the game, sent them through against Leicester City. It was unbelievable. Magic of the FA Cup. Isaac Wrighty says, have you watched any under-18s or under-21s on here? Yeah, we've done the we did the under-21s European Championships. We watched all the under-21s European Championships and the under-19s European Championships. Some absolutely incredible players in that. Max Morstedt and Pablo from Spain, Pablo from Betis is an absolutely fantastic young player. We've done loads of youth footy, loads of youth footy, and Nathan Patterson coming off here for Everton. We've even done some women's footy, just in case there's any shouts of sexism from the crowd. No, we've done some women's footy as well. Reece Welch is coming on for Patterson. So Everton have got another young face in the defence now. I think this is just getting to the point now. It's penalties. Let's bring on maybe some players who are happy to take a kick, and maybe Reece Welch is one of those. Zombie Man says, who do you think will be the winner today? Long ball into the box and Riffs claims it. Sibongi says, players have checked out the Palace manager, and who do I think will be the winner? I honestly don't know, mate. I think on penalties it does just come down to luck. Usually, and I said this last night. I did say this last night, so I'll go with this again. Usually, the winner of the penalty shootout is the team that are on the ropes in the game for most of the game. So, last night, I said exactly that statement before Wrexham and Forest. Forest came back strongly and Wrexham were defending really deep for most of extra time. They were struggling. Forest looked like they were going to win it. They didn't win it, and then Wrexham won it on penalties. By the same logic, Everton will win on penalties here. I don't want that to happen. I'd love it. I'd laugh my head off if Everton went out, but I think Everton are going to probably go through on pens. Stuart Carr, I subscribe. Cheers, Stu. Thanks, mate. Really appreciate that. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes, by the way. Like I said, live every single day. Watching more football than any other Watchalong channel. More variety. All different types. 40 different competitions we watched last year. Torb says, come on the Black Cats. And Wise Guy Maguire says, Xhaka has upped the standards and the fighting spirit of the club well. Fits the fighting spirit of the club well. Yeah. Very much a Sunderland player, isn't he? Dante says, I think Everton will win it because of Pickford, and Asnu's been class, says Zane. Asnu I've been very impressed by. I'm surprised. Look, he's a young player. He is a young player, but I'd be more surprised if off the back of this, he doesn't maybe start a few games ahead of Mykolenko. Mykolenko's out of contract in the summer. Doesn't look like he's going to get a new contract. If he has been offered one, it doesn't look like he's going to sign it. So if I'm David Moyes, I'm already thinking about, well, listen, I might as well play Asnu and give him a chance to step up. Why not? Better that than play Mykolenko to the end of the season. We've got 2 minutes left here, and then maybe a little bit of added time, but there's not going to be long. Sunderland strike, edge of the box. Oh, Tarkowski again. I tell you what, he keeps doing that, Tarkowski. It was a strike from Xhaka. It was curling into the bottom corner. I think Pickford would have got to it. But Tarkowski keeps... He's so lucky there, Tarkowski. He keeps dropping about 10 yards deeper than the rest of the defence. And he nearly deflects that into his own net. It's got to be a goal kick to Everton. 90 seconds of normal time left and then a penalty shootout. Isidore headed it over. Very lucky boy there, Tarkowski. Very, very lucky boy. Reece says, Key, would you say that Sunderland have had a much better season than Newcastle this season? I wouldn't say they've had a much better season. I think they've had a better season, though. Because Sunderland would have been expected to fight relegation. They've come up and they're above Newcastle, aren't they? Well, they're not now, but they've been above Newcastle for most of the season. Everton gang, who do you think will win? I think it's going to be Everton on penalties. My general rule for penalties is exactly that. That the team that's been the better side, that's maybe looked the stronger throughout the game, it's usually not them. It's not a hard and fast rule. It doesn't work every time. But I think the vast majority of penalty shootouts I've watched in 30-odd years watching football, it's nearly always the team that should have won in the game, should have, dominated the game, had the most chances, which in this game has been Sunderland. It's usually them who get knocked out. So I think Everton somehow do it. And plus, Pickford's better on penalties than Riffs. Although Riffs did very nearly get something on the Gana penalty. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It's a lottery, innit? It's always a bit of a tough one to call, Pens. Good play this for Sunderland now. They're driving forward. They have got a man over here if they get it right. If they get the pass right, it's into the box. Oh, and Everton get it away just about. We're past the 120th minute now. There's 1 minute of adding on time. 60 seconds left. Asnu's gone long. Hits it straight out of play off of Tierno Barry. And Sunderland get it back 40 seconds before a penalty shootout here. 40 seconds. Wise Guy says, thanks for the stream as well. This has been nearly as good as watching. Oh, mate, you're absolutely sweet. That's so cool. Thank you for that. I really do appreciate that. Daily Ray says, maybe a penalty after 120 minutes. Yes, there will absolutely be penalties after this. Sunderland in the box, strike, miles over the bar, and I think that's going to be it. There's 10 seconds left, and there's a goal kick to be taken. I think that's going to be it, you know. Everton gang, do you think Liverpool will beat Barnsley? I think we'll rotate quite heavily. Yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan, I am a red shite. Like I said, I've said all night, my granddad was a blue, I've got a soft spot for Everton, but my dad's a red. Supported Liverpool since 1972. I've always been a Liverpool fan, but and I always was going to be. But it is going to be penalty kicks. They've blown up here. But do I think Liverpool will win on Monday? I think we probably will, but I think we'll make very hard work of it. Barnsley will probably give us a right good go. It's an FA Cup game, so it wouldn't surprise me if we got knocked out. Because we're stretched at the minute. The ADHD game are going to be a long shootout if it comes to that. Precipitate the stream. Well, here we go. Let's do a poll. Let's end that poll and let's now discuss who wins on penalties. I'll ask the chat. Let me know. It's going to come up now. Hang on. Let's end that poll and we'll start a new one. Because 49% of you predicted that Everton would win this game. And now, who wins on penalties? Right, there you go. Who wins on penalties, Everton or Sunderland? Give us a vote. Let me know, and I'll let you know just before we start the pens. They're all going over now to pick. There's managers doing what they typically do, which is, right, which of you fancies a penalty and which of you definitely doesn't fancy a pen. And I always find it really interesting in these circumstances if the strikers put their hand up. I think that's going to be a big tell for Everton fans here, by the way. Does Tierno Barry and Beto put their hand up? Are they going to be one of the first 5? Usually your strikers are maybe first up to set the tone and get make sure the first couple of pens are going in the bottom corner. Or you put them as the big penalties, the number 4, the number 5. Steven Gerrard, for example, in Istanbul, he didn't take a penalty for Liverpool. Gerrard was the number 5 penalty and we didn't need it in the end. But it was... Look at me, red shite working Istanbul into an Everton penalty. TD says, how are the lads, how's it going? David says Pickford is better keeper, he's going to do it for us up the toffees. Pickford on penalties I would back over Roofs. I do think Everton have got this. Just off the fact that I always feel that the team that probably struggled in the 90 minutes, Everton were very, very fortunate to make it to extra time. Asnu came off the bench. Did very well, raised the tempo, wins an incredibly soft penalty. A really soft penalty. But he steps up and Gana sticks it away and Everton get back into it through extra time. Sunderland haven't done enough since. So on that basis, I really do think Everton nick it today. I think Everton are going to go through. The crazy Cocker Spaniel up the toffees and Jabbertwari says too bad Keane is suspended. He's our best. Honestly, Michael Keane's been your best player all season. Well, maybe not quite. Dewsbury Hall's been very good, and Grealish has had his moments, and Gana Gueye has been great. But Michael Keane's always up there, isn't he? Leslie McCluskey, Pickford top keeper. Juju gaming up the toffees. Sarah, can we please smash the likes? Thank you very much, Sarah. Yeah, I was going to say, if you're new around here, just a reminder, I am live every day. My name's Key. I started this channel 12 months ago. It's grown well beyond my expectations. I just love watching games of football. I am a Liverpool fan, full disclosure, but we watch everyone. I love watching any game of football. We watched 40 competitions in 2025, 40 competitions, 512 games we watched last year. And only 12 of them were 0-0s. And then we started 2026 with back-to-back 0-0s. There you go. But listen, really appreciate everyone that's watching. Really appreciate all the likes, all the love, all the sharing, all the subscribing, all that good stuff. And we've had a lot of good Everton fans in the chat today. It's been a good chat, a good live. Enjoyed it. Tony says, hi Key, just turned in for the pens, mate. How's the game been? Any good? It has, actually. It's been a really good game. It's been a bit of an old-fashioned game. I think Everton probably don't... They've made it hard work for Sunderland, and Everton have got a lot of players out. We've got to remember that. No Dewsbury Hall, no Grealish. Gana, Gueye and Ndiaye away at the AFCON, Keane suspended. They've got a lot of players out. But I would say Sunderland played very well first half and deserved to be in front. Second half, there wasn't a massive amount of chances. I thought it was just going to fizzle out to a 1-0. And then there you go, last kick of the game. Asnu comes on. Asnu was terrific. Really lit up the game, if anything. Asnu came on, did fantastically well. And he's won a penalty for him. It's a bit of a soft penalty. Probably shouldn't have been a pen, but you take your chances and that's what you get. And now he's taken Everton to extra time. Penalty. He's dragged them back into a competition they were right on the edge of going out of. And James Garner's about to take the first penalty. 55% of the chat. We've had a poll since the penalties were coming up, and 55% of you think Everton are going to win this. It is a lottery. It is basically 50-50, but I think I'm with you. I think Everton are going to go through here. I'm rooting for Sunderland as a Liverpool fan, but I think Everton are going to go through, you know. Peter Singley says Everton to win on pens. Wise Guy says Roof's moves too weird for the pens. He's all tiptoes. He's better in regular play. Phil Britt Barney, go on Everton. Jack says, can you update each pen? I will, absolutely. It's a penalty up here. James Garner, first pen for Everton. Saved by Roofs. First penalty and Roofs has saved it. There you go. This is the difficult thing. Do you start with your strikers taking them, the players who should be expected to take and score a penalty? James Garner's already taken one today and he scored it. He stepped up there. It was a really poor penalty, that, I think, James Garner. But he's missed it. He's missed it. So Everton get off to the worst possible start on the penalties here. And now it is Lefay, I think, who's going to take the next one for Sunderland. The goal scorer, Enzo Lefay, he's had a decent game. Scored a fantastic goal in the first half. And that goal probably should have won it for Sunderland. But he's about to step up against Jordan Pickford, who has got a very good record on penalties. We know he's got his water bottle, hasn't he? He's got his water bottle with all the who's going where. Is it going to work for him this time? Right-footed. Enzo Lefay, he's already scored today. Right-footed. Scores. Top corner. 1-0 Sunderland. Good finish. Stuart Smith says, Everton fan here, enjoyed your stream and stuck with you after finding out you're a gobshite. All the best. Come on, you Blues. Is right, mate. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. We're not all bad. Well, listen, you're saying that. You'll celebrate if we get knocked out by Barnsley on Monday, won't you? Let's be honest. Liverpool get beat on Monday. You're laughing your head off. Tierno Barry's next. I'm glad Barry's taking one. And I'm rooting for Tierno Barry. I've never wanted an Everton striker to succeed more. Right-footed. He's missed it. Oh, no. What are you doing? He's done a cocky little Benteke run-up. And he's tried to pass it into the corner. It reminded me an awful lot of the Amadou Onana penalty. Do you remember the Amadou Onana penalty? I think it was against Fulham a few years ago for Everton. Oh, it's so poor, that. That's so poor. He's got to do better there, Barry. Oh, and Everton missed the second. And I've got a lot of time for Tierno Barry. I think he's a fabulous young player. Fantastic potential. I think he will be a very good Premier League striker in time. He gets that all wrong there. I think you've got to go up and you've got to lace that. Granit Xhaka's next for Sunderland. Left-footed, 2-0 Sunderland. 2-0. Pickford doesn't even move. Xhaka smashed it bottom corner. Everton 2. Penalties taken and they've not scored either. Sunderland 2 from 2. Jabba says, I've got no animosity towards any red. I'll even give you some fleurs. Yay! Some blue ones. Cheers, mate. Thanks for that. Have you got a coach company as well? Richard Arlison Coaches. Phil says, why? Just why? This game's literally rigged for the black bitches. The black bitches. Beto's next up. Third penalty for Everton. Beto v Roofs. Right-footed, it's a lazy run-up. He's missed it as well. Oh my God, they've both done it. What is he doing? What is he doing? Oh, honestly, if you're an Everton fan, I'm not taking as much pleasure in this as maybe I should do as a Red, but this is a terrible run-up from Beto. It's a terrible run. He's telegraphed that. He might as well have pointed and said that's where I'm going. Oh, Beto. Beto's had a shocker. Tierno Barry's had a shocker. It's two players you'd have to count on there. I mean, Riffs has guessed right. I don't want to. If Sunderland fans are in the chat as well, I'm not taking away from Robin Riffs. He's guessed right both times. But I think they've telegraphed where it's going. Really poor penalties. Now Pickford. He's really got to save this one. Sunderland score, they're through. And he has. It's 3. Sunderland are through. They've won on penalties. 3-0. 3-0. It's barely a penalty shootout. Barely a penalty shootout. All 3. Gana, Beto, Barry, all miss. Sunderland are through. Oh my goodness me. I am lost for words. I am absolutely lost. I've never seen a penalty shootout so one-sided in that way. 2 incredibly poor penalties from 2 of the lads you would have expected to step up and score. But there you go. Everton crash out of the FA Cup. The first ever FA Cup tie at the Hill Dickinson. And they are out on penalties. Beto and Barry and James Garner missing. If we're being dead honest, that is probably the fairest result. Based on the 90 minutes, I don't think Asnou's was a penalty. If I'm really honest, it wasn't a great performance from Everton today. Admittedly, they're missing a lot of players. They're missing the lads who are at the AFCON, Iliman and Ndiaye and Gana Gueye. Massive, massive losses. Michael Keane, big loss at the back. Surely he would have started today. Although Nathan Patterson wasn't terrible. Romain Mundle gave him a hard time, but Nathan Patterson did okay. Everton defensively weren't awful today, and the one that was Tarkovsky, who I think would have started either way. Going forward, Everton are missing obviously your Dewsbury Hall, your Grealish, and it's just a really, really difficult time for Everton. So I think all the players that they're missing, it was always going to be a difficult game. That said, Sunderland probably do deserve to go through, and overall they've gone through on penalties. It's just disappointing the way they've gone out. Everton in penalty practice tomorrow, says Graham. Congrats to the winners, says Iwaju. And Stuart says embarrassing, that one. Jabbett says once again, disappointing is charitable. Leslie says they're a bunch of clowns, Everton strikers. They want to get shut and get better quality strikers in. And Wise Guy says Pickford supports Sunderland. I'm sure it'll be no consolation that it's Sunderland going through for Jordan Pickford. He didn't have a chance with any of the penalties, really. I think all 3 Sunderland penalties were top class. The really disappointing thing here is the to be honest, how poor the Everton penalties were. DCL scoring for fun, says Foxy. And Luis Antonio says Everton is mediocre. Visca says you hate Everton. I don't hate Everton. Vos Styler says, are you watching the City game or just Villa? No, I'm not watching the City game. I am only going to do Tottenham against Villa. So, listen, if you're new around here, please do click the like button. Massively helps me. I am only a new channel, small content creator. Help me out. I'm live every single day. We watched 512 games on this channel last year across 40 competitions. We watch everyone. It's not a fan channel of any one club. We watch absolutely everyone, and every single day we watch at least 1, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4 games. And we have a great community of people, a fantastic chat, who support clubs up and down the English football pyramid and around the world. We're going to be live later on tonight for Tottenham against Villa at 5:30. I'm also going to be live tomorrow for Derby County Leeds, Man United against Brighton, and the Spanish Super Cup final out in Saudi Arabia. I think it's in Jeddah. Barcelona Real Madrid Super Cup final tomorrow night on Sunday. And then Monday night we're doing Liverpool Barnsley. So listen, if you want to watch football, if you like these watch-alongs, if you're a footy mad sad act like us in the chat who we just love watching games of footy, then Give us a like, give us a follow. That's me until about 5 o'clock today. I'll be back at 5 for Spurs against Villa. Big Premier League game. Can't really predict that one either. But for now, congratulations to Sunderland. Sunderland go through on penalties. Probably the right result in the end. Thanks everyone for watching. Take it easy. See you soon.